Dave. His name is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I'm with him.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphrey's hard fouls and Kevin Garnett pushes him straight into the third row. Let's go. My name is Dave. His name is Joe. Let's go.
This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show.
Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We've talked a lot. There's nothing left in the tank.
Let's go.
I'm Scary Terry. You can run, but you can't hide, bitch.
All right. Welcome to the 69th episode of the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast. It's Scary Terry season. This is episode 69. My name is Dave. I'm accompanied by my two fellow nerds here. To my right, I have the host of WCP,
Aaron.
And to my left, I have a guy that's just moving and shaking. Just shaking the foundation of the network. We don't really know what he's doing anymore.
I don't know,
Harlem shaking?
like the jazz hands,
There you go. Why not?
the jazz fingers.
He's doing jazz
the mystical
knuckles
jazz
right now.
fingers, yeah.
A bunch of jazz
Phalanges.
knucks.
My phalanges are all shaking and moving.
There we go.
Oh, my name's Joe, by the way.
His name is Joe. He is the phalange flanger.
Scary Joe,
Scary,
bitch.
Scary Joe, bitch. Man, oh man. Let's get right into our next clip real fast, and that'll kind of segue us into the state of the Celtics right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Nope.
Nope.
Nope. That's not how you do it, Dave. That's a
All
rookie.
right.
That's a rookie move on
Okay.
my behalf. Let's get right into it.
Giannis, he loves to push the ball. Drew Bledsoe, he loves to push the ball. You got Chris Middleton, who makes tough shots, and we just try to limit them to what they're good at, and by just being long off the ball and just showing our presence. And I feel like we did a great job at that.
Rozier's gotten off to a strong start to the series. No turnovers in 78 minutes. How personally do you take that matchup?
Who?
Terry Rozier.
I don't even know who that is.
Bitch.
So
I have two things.
Yeah.
One, now we know what I thought Drew Bledsoe was selling wine in California.
So wine and Cali.
Apparently not. He's the point guard of the fucking
Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, he's no longer in Walla Walla, Washington.
Nope.
That's not where he is.
I actually think that wasn't a slip of the tongue. I think he was actually talking about Drew Bledsoe, and he was comparing Giannis to Drew Bledsoe.
Giannis, you got Drew Bledsoe. They're both about 6.
He actually wasn't talking about Eric Bledsoe at all.
Very tall
Drew
athletes.
Bledsoe also likes to push the ball down the field.
Yep.
So there's no slip of the tongue there.
Nope.
It's just
It's long,
yeah.
and tough to defend.
Yeah.
Giannis, he loves to push the ball. Drew Bledsoe, he loves to push the ball.
I think
Seems
it's a very safe comparison.
Checks out.
Yeah, they
Checks
both
out.
love to push the ball. I mean, I
That's what
don't
Drew
see
Bledsoe did
anything.
best.
Everything Terry Rozier just said is very true.
And I feel like Eric Bledsoe is wildly offended in a comment that wasn't even directed about him.
Nope.
And at this point, if he doesn't know who Scary Terry is, bitch, he is.
I think he does now.
He's that guy.
Well, he
who's cooking
already.
you.
So I heard someone make this comment before, so I can't take all the credit for it. But someone said when Terry Rozier hit the parting of the Red Sea that he did
Yes.
to Drew Bledsoe, the wiggle move that he did,
Yeah.
and Drew Bledsoe's ankles just exploded, and then
Yeah.
he had like a wide open look. When he did that, it was actually like hitting Eric Bledsoe with like the Men in Black light.
Yeah, like he forgot who he
Like
was.
he forgot everything that ever happened.
Right, like he
just
never,
like
he forgot how to play
Yeah,
basketball.
yeah.
He's never played basketball before. That was a wild move. That was a very James Harden-esque sit there with the ball on your hip, kind of wait for the guy to come towards you and say, all right, I guess I'll shoot
yeah.
it.
And what makes it even wilder is it was at the end of the game, pretty
Right,
much.
with time ticking.
Yeah.
Like, just it wasn't like he waited.
He was just like, I shit on you, and I don't even care if we lose now.
Right,
Like,
yeah,
I want to rub this in.
I'm willing to just sit this thing into overtime. We don't
Yeah.
need to make the shot. We got 5 minutes. We can do whatever we want here. If I drill it, I drill it. And then Chris Middleton hit a 36-footer. God bless him. That was a wild good shot. Tie it up with 0.5 of a second left. Really?
Fuck him.
Yeah, it was
Fuck him.
nice. Chris Middleton is easily the most underrated player in basketball. He is a fucking baller. He's so good.
I don't believe you. Because I think the most underrated player in basketball is
Scary
Terry.
bitch. Yeah, that's true. That might be true. Chris Middleton is fucking filthy. He went for like 34 in game one.
No, he
Like,
is really
he's
good.
disgusting.
There were rumors that the Celtics were targeting him.
We're interested. Yeah,
a while,
I don't blame him. He's a long two guard. He can do a lot for you. A lot like Jalen, who, by the way, is fucking swagging up right now.
Yeah,
Level him up. fucking power that guy up. Give him a little Mario level up right there.
He's got the big mushroom.
The suit, yeah.
He got the big mushroom. And now he can get hit twice.
Right.
And before he dies.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now if he jumps on, like, Average Al's back,
Yeah.
I say Average Al because he didn't have a monster game last night.
Right.
But if he jumps on his back, instead of Shrek and Donkey, it's
fucking
Mario on
Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Yeah. That works. Al Horford has a wildly long tongue, too.
So
Little known fact.
Just what you don't know.
I watched him
is
tie his shoes with it one time.
with his tongue. Crazy thing. Jaylen Brown was so hot last night from the floor.
How hot was he?
That he was wide open for a three-pointer, waited it out. Like, he didn't have to put a move on anybody. He just was wide open, passed over to him, and then he waited and was just like, he wanted to get in the groove. He just took a hard dribble for no reason. Like, just like he was just standing there.
Like he was shooting a foul shot?
Yeah, like he was about ready to pull up, and he was like, dude. And then fucking, like,
I feel like that's something
caught it in
you
rhythm.
would do.
Yeah, just caught it. He likes catching it off the hip and then firing. It was like, I liked it. He set himself up. Nice 30 points for him. Career playoff high for him in 2 years.
I was going to say, yeah.
Not a lot of. What's crazy is he has like the most playoff experience on the Celtics other than Al Horford.
Well, I was going to say, here's the other thing that, like, I know everybody kind of the narrative on Al Horford is he's overpaid and he doesn't do enough. The reason why you say that is also, how many years have you been fucking playing in the NBA and you're going to rely on either a second-year player or a rookie to be your leading scorer?
Right.
Not you. You're not going to take over a game?
But he did, though. He has been taking over the games. He's been really good.
I understand. The first game he had a good game.
Yeah, 24 from the floor.
I just don't think average basketball fans appreciate the intricacies of what Al Horford does.
No, I get what he does.
And people that say that, or people that hear you say that,
Yeah.
that don't understand it, hate hearing that sentence.
I just think
They're just like, oh, like he's average.
average Al is a basketball player's basketball player.
Yes. He does all the little things.
He's like how Rush is like a musician's band. Average Al is a basketball player's basketball player.
I think.
Like, I fucking can't stand Rush, but that's because
Oh
I
my
don't play
God,
any instruments.
get out of my apartment.
I don't play any instruments. People who play instruments fucking love Rush.
I don't, but Rush is awesome.
Rush is all right.
It's Rush.
Tom
Rush
Sawyer
all the time.
Tom Sawyer's a good song.
I think Mike Dyer put it best when thinking about Al Horford, where in the NBA, every team can afford 2 or 3 max contracts, right? So
Yeah.
you would say 60 to 90, depending on what the situation is. Is Al Horford a top 90 basketball player in the league?
Yes.
Absolutely. He's probably around like 30. Probably top 30-ish. You know what I mean? So he's deserving of a max contract on any team if he's a top 30 player. And even if you want to go lower, 45, 50, he's definitely better than top 90 in the NBA. So he's not overpaid if he's a top 90 player because there's 3 max contracts for every team.
Think about it. Swaggy P.
Right.
Nick Young. Mm-hmm. People love Nick Young, right?
Why?
He's not like Al Horford is light years better than Nick Young.
Right. Yeah.
I don't.
Right.
But people like him
Nick
because
Young,
he's flashy. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, he's a showman. Like, yeah. Right.
Like Lance Stevenson at one point was considered like a max contract guy.
Yeah.
Al Horford is significantly better than Lance
Stevenson.
Stevenson.
That's true. Yeah. There's a bunch of guys. I mean, you look at
big men. How many big men even come close to comparing to him?
Right.
Like
he's in the running for Defense Player of the Year.
Did you hear
Which is a wild
Shaq and what's his name?
Barkley.
Barkley talking about him?
Nah.
Because they're both. I think
I heard Barkley say that
they had a conversation off camera.
Yeah.
During the break, and then when they came back, they started talking again, and then he's like, "Yeah, like we were talking about before." He goes, "Look at how much money this guy's making every year, and he's only getting averaging like 12 points a game."
Right.
He goes, "You were averaging more than that at the end of your career,
right,
Charles. Like, can you imagine how much money we would make right now? That's really what it's about."
Right.
And even for the former NBA players watching, they get the game, and they go,
Right.
"How does this guy make as much money as he does for what he does?" Now, that's.
But if you go back and look, Charles was a max contract guy.
He was, but he had more stats.
Right.
Which
at the end of his career,
they also
when he
just
was
made
bad.
less then.
Right. Yeah, the money was just less.
That's
That's
I
like
get
saying,
it.
like my dad made fucking $6 an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Starting off, and it's like, well, I started at $7.50. It doesn't mean I'm more valuable. It just means that the
Al
pay rate
Horford's
is up.
contract by comparison to max contracts now is like
Yeah, he's actually an underpaid max guy
He's like
because the way they
Steph
escalated.
Curry makes like fucking bajillion dollars more than Al
he's
Horford
making like
does.
40, and Al Horford's making
makes like
28.
40,
Yeah. But no, you're right, and that's I heard Barkley say it, like, yeah, when I was doing 15 points a game, they wanted me to retire, and they're paying this guy max money or whatever.
Because Charles Barkley was also probably making wild mistakes while Al Horford doesn't fuck up.
Yeah, that's true.
He just doesn't fuck up.
Yeah.
That's what his
But here's the thing.
his value comes from. I know
Reliable.
he is going to be where he's supposed to be all of the time. He's going to give you 12 points, probably 8 boards, and maybe 5 assists a game.
Led the Celtics in assists this year.
And he's not going to fuck up.
Called that 7 months ago.
And he's just not going to make a mistake. That's
Yeah.
what his thing
But at
is.
the same
I
time-
won't make a mistake.
At the same time, when you think of, let's use this for an example. You take and this is a completely different example, but this is the way I can put it into my head. You look at the late 90s middle linebackers in the NFL.
All right.
Who are the names that jump out to you? If you're not a fucking New England fan, who are the middle
Brian
linebackers?
Urlacher, Ray Lewis, late 90s, you said?
Yep.
Okay, sure, yeah. Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis, Zach Thomas. Non-New England.
Yeah.
Those 3 really jump.
Okay, so
Ray
so
Lewis,
if
Urlacher,
you went up
Thomas.
to somebody, anybody in the NFL, and say, who did you rather have as your middle linebacker, Teddy Bruschi or Ray Lewis?
Right.
Take the fucking murder charges out of it.
Right, yeah. Just
Who do you
right.
want that makes outlandish plays, like is a monster? And it's not like he's making crazy amount of mistakes,
Right.
but he puts himself out there to make those crazy plays.
Right.
So
Yeah, the NBA.
that's what it is. It's,
I like that
it's a
point. I
guy
like
that
that
you
point.
watch, and you watch him on the screen, and you're like, you are watching. It's like you're a wet blanket. You're a fucking. I'm watching paint dry right now.
Right.
That's Al Horford.
Right, but
a lot of times.
But just to take your argument, just for playing devil's advocate, I like that
Yes.
point a lot. But just for the sake of debate, we all love Teddy Bruschi.
No, we do.
Right, you know what I
but
mean?
at the
So
same
as a-
time, he was a guy that when he talks about like I brought up the subject about how with him and Seo sitting in an interview and all he did was take one step wrong and Belichick lost his shit.
Right.
In the NBA, most coaches aren't going to stifle you on your game. I understand
yeah.
Al Horford's game is to play a little bit more conservative and make those least amount of mistakes. What do we make fun of Alex Smith for being? He controls the game and this and that. That's what average Al is.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
You could make another Patriots linebacker comparison. If linebackers in the 2000s, you have like, you could still say Ray Lewis, Junior Seau, who is the Sean Merriman, Derek Johnson, all those guys, great linebackers.
Yeah.
But the Pats had Gerard Mayo, and he would be an All-Pro, and no one would ever fucking talk about him.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he was just a tackle machine.
He was just a tackle machine.
Yeah.
That's average Al.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be. He's gonna put up He's not gonna put up huge numbers,
Right.
but he's gonna do what he's supposed to do,
Yeah.
and he's gonna. Average Al, if he was the number 1 on your team, it would be terrible that he's making as much money as he is. But as a number 3,
He's supposed to be the 3rd best player on that team right now.
Yeah.
he's the perfect number 3.
And I think it's also the fact that, like, when we look at a team, and a lot of people are starting to look at it this way, is, well, you might be able to go out there and get a guy that can give you almost what he gives you for, like, half the money.
Right. Yeah, no, and that's probably true.
And that's just how people look at it, go, this guy is not going to win you a series.
Right.
He is not going to be... He's not going to be the Greek freak where he puts on... Like, obviously, he's not winning him the series right now.
Right.
But you give him those kind of options or a coach that can actually work with him.
Don't get me wrong. I tweeted just the other day, I think from the B.S. Nerds account, but maybe from my personal one. I would be totally okay if they traded Al Horford for a bunch of picks and like a mediocre player where you had to make some of the money match, and you signed Greg Monroe and became your starter.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they'd be fine with that. Greg Monroe has been so good for them as a pickup. Real low key, doesn't play a ton of minutes, but he's getting double doubles here and there, and he's playing really well. And I think he has more upside than Al Horford. Like, what Al's ceiling is game 1. 24 points, 12 rebounds. He was really good. He played a lot of minutes. He didn't turn the ball over a lot. He was really good. I think Greg Monroe can give you 39 and 15 on a night. You know what I
Also-
mean? And then maybe not again for a while, but I think he'd go down to 12 points and he'd be like, well, so does Al Horford. You know what I mean? So what does it matter?
You say that, though, but there's one thing Al Horford brings you that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, and it's not just good defense, it's defensive versatility, where he can cover
Guard 3 positions.
Yeah.
Right.
He can. Al Horford is athletic enough to guard up to like a small forward.
Right.
So you can have him move, like, if there's a big small forward on the other team, and you put Greg Monroe out there, Al Horford could guard the small forward. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
When they do those,
looking at it through like my prism of like how much you're like, you know, you're big on like per 36.
Right. That's my thing.
Yeah.
That and points per shot attempt.
Yeah,
are my
you
two
go.
favorite basketball
Yeah,
stats.
and I'm sure he lights that up.
Yeah, he does a really good
plus
job.
minus probably. He's probably a really good plus
Yeah.
minus
He does have a
guy.
good plus minus. He does.
But like Al Horford is really good. A lot of Brad Stevens, like, defensive ideology is constant switch. They switch all the time on pick and rolls. Al Horford is great for that because if you do a pick and roll and you switch, he's athletic enough to cover whoever he has to take.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's really hard to run a pick and roll, which is like the biggest kind of offense in the NBA. It's really hard to run a pick and roll against the Celtics because Al Horford can just switch onto your guy.
And he fits perfectly with your roster because all of them can do it. Like Terry Rozier can guard 2-3 positions. Marcus Smart can guard 2-3 positions.
Like
Jaylen
you
Brown
lose that a
can
little
guard
bit.
2-3
You
positions.
lose that a little bit if you switch to Greg Monroe as your full-time center because he can't switch.
He can't. Yeah, he can't follow a 3 around as well.
Or like if a point like
Or a point guard,
obviously
or whatever,
Horford
right.
would be in trouble with a point guard, but he could probably hold his own until they can switch back.
Right.
You know what I
right.
mean?
I would say that on game 1, he had 8 shot attempts, 24 points. Guy scored 3 points every attempt.
That's
a wild stat, and I love that a lot. Very efficient scoring.
Well, I mean, especially like for your example, him guarding a point guard, it works perfectly, especially if you end up playing Philly.
Right. So you got Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons
I'll
is
let
only
you-
an inch shorter than him.
Run
Right.
run the pick and roll all you want because Horford is just going to switch. He's just going to switch onto Simmons.
That's true. I wanted to play one thing about, you know how you were saying, guys, coaches don't really like castrate their players much for missing a step.
Yeah.
Brad Stevens had a very sarcastic press conference about game 1, quarter 2. They started the quarter off with 6 straight turnovers. They didn't get a shot up after 8 possessions.
They were
real bad.
They were actually kind of putting the business to Milwaukee at the end of the first
quarter, right?
and
they pulled away, and then
Milwaukee came like storming back.
Well, your guys that are normally your bench guys
I know, Shane Larkin
are
is
now
starting.
are now starting.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey guys, all that stuff that you would probably be doing in less minutes,
Right.
do it all the time.
I do
now.
it for 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's Brad Stevens being pretty funny about the turnovers. I like this.
Well, that was part of our plan to kind of lull them into a false sense of security. Never attack the paint, just throw it to the other team and let them score whenever they want. We thought maybe that would wear them out. Turns out it didn't look like a good plan, so we had to readjust, make those hard halftime adjustments, throw it to our team, and try to do what we did in the first quarter. You know, there wasn't much adjustments. It was just like, we got to do this, this, and this better. They turned it up on us in the second quarter, and, you know, we were playing well up to that point, but not well enough.
But I thought that was pretty good. Just, you know, we tried to lull them to sleep there. I like that line a lot.
The NBA does this thing where they give their, I guess that all the sports do it. You should not be allowed to give MVP, Rookie of the Year, those awards, Coach of the Year. They should all be given away
With the playoffs in mind.
either at the end of the regular season or you take the playoffs into account.
Right, yeah.
Because this weird false thing they do where it's like, oh, it's just a regular season award, but we give it away after the playoffs.
Right.
And we don't factor those in. Like, you're full of shit you don't factor those
Supposedly
in.
the votes are already in.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
It's not true. I don't care what they say, it's not
Right,
true.
yeah.
Just give the award away.
They're in the mail.
They're in the
mail.
Just,
Don't worry.
just give the award away at the end of the regular season and don't factor the playoffs in at all because I don't believe you.
Right.
It's going to work in the Celtics' favor because I don't think there's any way Brad Stevens doesn't win Coach of the Year after the performance he's put on so far.
Right.
Like, I mean, this team is glued together pretty
It's
much.
crazy. Now, I think I called, I don't remember exactly, I should have wrote it down. Celtics in 6? I know I called Bruins in 6.
You said they would win the first round. I remember.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
They would
I think
win
you
the-
said in 6.
Yeah, I think I had Bruins and C's both in 6. I might be wrong.
It might be 4.
It might be 4 or 5. I think Giannis will take over a game in Milwaukee.
The thing is, they haven't. Giannis has been playing really good.
Really well, yeah, but I think he's just going to... There's something about... I don't watch a lot of Bucks games, but so obviously I'm watching more now.
He can't shoot.
Not a great shooter, and also wildly out of control with the basketball. I mean, he just drives with nowhere to go.
He's not a good dribbler.
Has to jump and throw the ball back out to the 3-point line because he just winds up in no man's land all the time. That guy is really reckless, all over the place. His strides are so huge that he can... If he gets you one time with a Euro step, then you're beat, you're cooked. But with the way that he's been playing defense, like you said, with the length, Al Horford, that matchup has been really good. Giannis has been scoring 30 points on Al, but
that's it.
He's been making him work.
Yeah.
Because Al's been turning his back to him. He's been posting him up. He's been really giving it to him. So I think that this is a much tougher series for Giannis than I think he thought. And Al Horford, they're saying he may win Defensive Player of the Year. He's definitely going to be first team all defense, which is I never would have thought. I didn't anticipate that happening. And he's been really, really good for them with his subtle, nuance, intricacy moves in basketball that everyone hates.
Is it? I think Terry Rozier might be my new favorite basketball player.
He's a lot of fun.
I don't want them to get rid of him.
Yeah.
My little brother said something about they're going to have to get rid of Terry. They can't.
They probably will.
They're going to have to trade him away. I don't want them to.
No.
I mean, the only thing you could hope for is that he'll take a deal to stay, but I don't think he will.
I might root for him on another team. I think Terry Rozier is going to be the guard that breaks the Brad Stevens curse.
And is good everywhere.
I just think he's actually good.
I do too.
I don't think this is some kind of fluke thing because we've seen flashes of this Terry all year in more limited minutes, and now that he's actually getting his time, he's
really good,
showing up, and I think he's always been good. I mean, he was the 13th pick.
Yeah, I think 13th or 16th.
He was in the teens.
Yeah.
He's a first round talent who just kind of never really got a shot until now. Mm-hmm. But he's been there for the Celtics for a while.
You had an all-pro point guard.
Right.
There was no reason to play him.
Mm-hmm. And
they had Marcus Smart, who a lot of people said Terry Rozier is just like Marcus Smart. No one thought that he was this much better on offense.
He's much better on offense, yeah. I think his IQ is a little worse than Marcus Smart, basketball IQ, offensively.
Yeah, but he makes
But I think Rozier is a better shooter. He's a much better shooter. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think his natural skill is better.
He is a starting NBA caliber point guard, in my opinion.
I think so, too. He reminds me a lot of a Darren Collison type guy.
I think he could be better than that. I think he is a Drew Holiday level Darren Collison, guys like that. Who had really good years for the Pacers back in the day.
Every point guard, I feel he goes through the Pacers. He's the George Hill, Darren Collison.
Raymond Felton back in when Raymond Felton was. By the way, have you seen Raymond Felton? Is he on the Bucks?
He might. I don't know. Maybe.
I saw Raymond Felton somewhere. Playing.
Yeah.
He's fat.
Raymond Felton's huge now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's
big.
Weird.
I can't remember if he's on the Bucks or not, but he's a big boy.
I can't remember if it was the Bucks game I was watching.
Did you guys see Rondo this weekend?
Playoff Rondo?
Playoff Rondo?
Did you see that Paul George randomly has a nickname now? Playoff P?
Playoff P.
What is that? No one calls him that.
No, he calls himself that.
I don't even think he called himself that. Someone just decided.
No, I think he referred to himself as Playoff P, and that's where it started. Also,
he had a nickname, PG-13.
PG-13?
It's a great nickname.
It's a really good one. There's a wild thing. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Okay, try to wrap your mind around this. This takes a second. All right. If LeBron James
I've seen this.
And Paul George go to the Houston Rockets,
yep.
4 of their 5 starting players would be Chris Paul, Paul George, LeBron James, James Harden, right?
Yeah.
We know that'd be their team.
Yeah.
If you were to say their first names, it's Chris, Paul, LeBron, James. And then if you say their last names, it's Paul, George, James, Harden. What the fuck? How does that happen?
So
that's a wild thing.
That team is built into destiny.
Yeah.
It will happen.
I'm rooting for that to happen.
And they will rule over the NBA for years to come.
It's a crazy thing. It's hey, dude, can you name me the 4 players by first name on the Rockets?
You know why it won't happen?
Chris Paul, LeBron James. But no, I said the 4 of them, and I said their first names. I did. You only named me 2. You said Chris Paul, LeBron James. Yeah. All right, anyway, let's try to get with the last names. Oh, yeah, Paul George, James Harden. Like, dude, again, you only named me 2 players and you used both their names. I wanted all 4 last names, and it fucking works. That's unbelievable.
Here's the other thing about that. It's not going to work because Chris Paul is going to pull a gun on somebody, or have all of his goon buddies go in that locker room. Somebody's going to offend
That might
him.
happen.
Somebody's going to offend him.
I think it'd be Paul George because LeBron and Chris Paul said they wanted to play together for a long time.
Yeah, everybody wants to play with LeBron
Right.
until they actually play with LeBron. And then somebody starts fucking his mom, and then it can't work out.
Have you heard the LeBron barbershop story?
Suing.
So Nick Saban launched a barbershop thing,
Yeah.
Yes.
and LeBron sued him
Yeah.
and was like,
Why?
because LeBron had this barbershop thing with his company where they sat in a barbershop and talked about sports. Nick Saban did the same thing, which apparently LeBron now owns the legal rights to talking sports in a barbershop.
In a barbershop, which is a wildest.
So he put a lawsuit out against against Nick Saban. Turns out another lawsuit was been filed now against LeBron from this company saying we've been talking to LeBron about this barbershop thing for 2 years, and then his company just took our idea and did it on their own.
Shout out to Joey Fresh and Shop Talk.
He just took our idea.
Right.
So now
Why would you mention his name? Shout out to Jerry. Fuck that other guy.
So now they're suing LeBron. So LeBron sued Nick Saban on an idea that wasn't even his.
Wow.
Well, it just goes to show you, LeBron James, like always,
He's the softest.
He's a
Nope,
soft.
nope.
No. I know you're going to say Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is the softest basket. He might be the softest athlete in all of sports,
No.
followed by LeBron James.
I would say the softest athlete that I see.
David Price.
Yeah.
No.
Price
Yes.
is real soft.
Oh
dog.
my God.
He is no
LeBron James
No,
goes after
no,
people, but
no. Kevin
he's
Durant made another Twitter account.
Yeah,
he made a Twitter account.
Everyone has a burner account.
He made a
though.
Twitter account and commented on his own thing to tell people don't make
I have
fun
to
of Kevin
believe
Durant.
that's happening all the time.
There's no way David
okay,
Price is.
Here's the difference. He looked at it and goes, here's the thing. He looks at it and goes, hey, I'm not going to pay some broad $30,000 a year to do it like fucking Dave's favorite, fucking Big Baby Glenn Davis.
Oh, yeah.
Pay your fucking fans to attack Dave because he calls him piggy fat fuck.
Yeah. True story.
Like, that's what it is. You're just your
David
fans.
Price plays in one of the hardest media markets to play in
And crumbles.
in the entire country.
And is
Kevin Durant
awful.
crumbles, and he plays for fucking Golden State.
Yeah, no,
That's
true.
also the
It's-
best team in the NBA.
Yeah, he plays for the best. He was a free agent. He was a free agent. Went to the best team in the NBA.
Yeah.
Complains about fans, and his media market is fucking patty cakes. David Price left a warm place where he was the dude to come to a terrible media market.
Right.
He also
For him.
didn't he go to
cries.
didn't he go to Chicago at one
like
point?
Detroit
He was
or
traded
one of
to
the
Detroit
other.
or
Yeah.
Chicago
He's-
before he came to Boston.
He's
Yeah.
He
nowhere
chose
near
that.
as soft
Detroit's
as
a,
he's
man.
nowhere
David
near as
Price
soft
is a
as Kevin Durant.
puss.
Are
I don't
you
think
kidding
Kevin
me?
Durant's that bad.
No, I just don't think that he's the biggest.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I think
don't
he's
think
one of the top.
He
I
is.
just don't think he's the biggest.
He is the softest. The only person that ever comes close to being as soft as Kevin Durant is Tom Brady, specifically in the gif of him dancing on that balcony in like Brazil,
How's that soft,
where he's
though?
like doing this.
How's that soft though?
Because it is the most indefensible thing. If you're a Patriots fan and someone drops that gif on you,
Yeah,
it's like
it's like
I
you're
But
can't.
how come
Yeah.
is how come?
It's just
Have you
so
seen the
pathetic.
dance?
It's so pathetic.
Do you know?
No man should dance
two
like
things,
that ever.
Two things.
He does this.
Two
with Aaron.
things.
I know
No,
you can't
I don't
see
care.
this.
No, I
I
think
know you
he's
can't
going-
see this
No,
if you're listening.
everybody knows the
but
gif
it's
or
like,
the dancing movie.
He's
Here's
going
the other
phalange
thing.
flanger right there.
Two things you don't know about that whole video. One, you don't know what the fuck he's on.
Right.
Because he's in
This is true.
fucking
All right.
In a foreign
Rio
country.
de
Yeah,
Janeiro.
yeah.
Solid point. Solid point.
And
And
if
Giselle
you were
says so.
standing next to Giselle and
Yeah.
she still wants to have kids with you after you do that,
Right.
you're just like, listen,
He wins.
Yeah.
Is Giselle
that's
in the
true.
video? I don't think
she was there.
They were
She was there.
She
They were
was
together.
there.
Right,
She was there.
She's not in the video though.
she
so
might be on one of the floats driving by as he's dancing to
Yeah,
let her
maybe
know.
he's like-
He might have gone on a solid cold streak after that with Giselle.
What if-
After she
I
saw
don't
the
think
video.
so.
No sex in full pads.
Yeah.
Deep cut. What if she was going by and she said, hey, dance to me real stupid? And he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then does the
No,
stupid
no,
thing.
he looks dead serious. You can see the look in his eyes when he does like the
meant
half
it.
turn.
When you're drunk, though,
See?
or high.
I think what's even worse than
and,
that,
and it was long
I think
hair.
there's a worse gift than that.
And it was the long hair Tom Brady.
No,
at
the
time?
worst
I
one's
think
him
there's a
walking
worse-
around in Uggs in New York City.
I don't mind that one.
If
I
you say
respect
crying
his
Tom
style.
Brady, that's not the worst.
Not crying Tom Brady, the water slide one. His fucking hands out, wrists up.
He has for the greatest of all time. He has some. He has
wild
some.
gift. Like
He has some terrible gifts.
really.
Okay, but
Right.
so does every other professional
I'm
athlete.
not saying
that's
Tom Brady. I am
scrutinized.
definitely not saying Tom Brady is the softest athlete of all time. I'm just
You're throwing
saying.
him up there, though.
I'm just saying that gift, Tom Brady, is
Yeah.
one of the softest.
That individual
I'll say
moment.
this. I'll say this. He's not, Durant's not sitting there freaking out telling the team that you need to hire my guy or I don't want to train with the team anymore. Yeah.
Durant didn't
Joe
say.
looks so mad right now.
Durant didn't say it, but
He has
KD is the greatest forever on Twitter did, and that's just Kevin Durant with a
Okay.
different login.
Okay.
Saying, hey, he would never win a championship with Russ and those guys, so that's why he
Why
had
not?
to leave and go to
so
Golden State.
he wouldn't have.
That's
It's not wrong.
probably not true. I mean, he could have.
I don't think.
I don't think so.
They lost the finals that year, and Golden State was just getting better.
Yeah, they got better because they took Kevin Durant.
No, but I mean,
No,
they're, like,
they
hitting
already
their prime.
won one before
Yeah,
that.
they won one before
yeah,
that.
well, they could. I mean,
They're hitting their
You don't
prime.
think they could have gotten another guy that's not Kevin Durant,
if
but
you
just
don't think
another
if
guy to bolster
Oklahoma
LeBron
had,
James?
you
Yeah.
don't think if Oklahoma had Kevin Durant right now, that they could contend with
They
Golden
wouldn't-
State
they
where
wouldn't-
they're at?
They wouldn't have Paul George. If they
No, but Kevin Durant's better than Paul George.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
you
you-
already had Kevin Durant and you didn't.
you had that team
No, but I'm saying with the NBA now,
with Carmelo.
if you take Carmelo and Paul George, put Kevin Durant back on Golden State with
They're not
Steve,
better than Warriors.
with Steph Curry injured, they are.
Oh, right.
Well,
now,
yeah, right at the
they're not
moment.
better than
But I'm
the
saying
Rockets,
if
but
the-
they're not better than the Rockets.
If the NBA shakes up the way it is, I mean, all you have to do is beat the Rockets,
well, yeah.
You
and they're
get-
right there. And then if they make
always-
the finals in the West, then
But
they win the whole thing.
But the Thunder always only had to beat one team. Like that was the
They
year they
could
broke up.
beat the Rockets.
I don't
I don't
so.
think. I don't think Westbrook. I don't think
don't
Westbrook
think so.
Durant could beat the Rockets right now. I don't think Westbrook Durant would ever beat the Warriors.
No.
I think they could beat the Rockets.
I mean, they were close to
think
beat.
so.
Don't get me wrong. They were close to beating the Warriors. They were up 3-1.
Yeah,
You know, what I mean, like they were right there.
Look,
But that face.
they
don't
could
look at
have.
my face.
That face don't
No.
They could have.
They could have. They could have. But I don't know if they would have won the chip because they did get to the finals.
I'm saying
And
this
then they-
year, though, if they make the finals, you win the chip. If you make the finals from the West, you win the chip.
Who, the Thunder?
Whoever
If-
wins
if-
the West is winning the
I
championship.
don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know if a Russell Westbrook Kevin Durant team would beat.
Toronto?
See, I'm in a
Golden State- if
I'm in a
Golden-
froggy ass fucking mood.
If Golden State or Houston wins the championship, they're winning the championship. Like if they win the West, they're winning the
that's
championship.
obvious.
Yeah,
If they
well,
win
yeah.
the championship, they're
No, if they win the West, if Golden State or if Golden
Hot
State,
take Joe right here.
Golden State or Houston win the West, they're winning
Right.
the whole thing.
All right, so
I
here's-
think I give Houston a better shot.
I don't want to hear about Philly in the process.
I'm going to go hot take
That's
Dave.
not happening.
Go
Hot
ahead.
take Dave. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not telling you.
Jesus
to go-
Christ, Dave, just say your hot take.
I'm not telling you go to your bookie and make it happen. But Indiana could beat Cleveland.
All right.
Indiana would face up with Toronto, and that's an interesting matchup. They play each other really tough. I think Indiana tied the season series with them. Celtics could get past Philly because Joel Embiid, we don't really know what's going on with him.
Yeah, he's not playing this
Not
series.
playing right now,
Officially, he's out for this
He's
series.
out for the series now.
I thought he was just out for last night.
Out for the series.
What?
Yeah, because
Look it up. It's out for the series.
I believe that because I know there's a lot of questions around him. So, now Philly, first off, tied 1-1 with Miami,
Yep.
And they lost a home game.
and they lost a home game to Miami.
That's a huge loss.
so
with,
if
with the guy that has no knees.
so, hear me out. Miami
Yep.
could potentially move up. Indiana could potentially move up.
Yep.
That means we would get Indiana in the second round,
Yeah.
and Miami would go to Toronto. Right? Toronto would wipe the floor with Miami.
Yeah.
We could beat Indiana.
Yep.
I think we would wipe. I honestly think we would wipe the floor with Indiana.
Yeah, same here. I do too.
They have Victor Oladipo. I mean,
And-
they have one guy.
And the Raptors and the Celtics are tied in the season series 1-1 without Kyrie and without Marcus Smart. Now Marcus Smart will be back.
All right.
Put Marcus Smart on DeMar DeRozan. Make that a little more uncomfortable for him. You know what I mean?
Will you play both
all of a
Smart
sudden-
and Rozier at the same time?
You could.
You could.
Yeah.
You could, depending on how your lineup is.
You could literally
At
go
least for
small
moments in a game, too.
You could go small against against Indiana that way. You could definitely
You could do it against Toronto, too, I think.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Especially Toronto, you could... Who would
Tatum at the 4,
Who would you-
Jalen at the 3, and Horford at the 5.
Yeah, who would you put against Lowry?
You put Rozier on him.
Rozier.
I put
Rozier on
him.
Lowry, Smart on DeRozan.
Yep.
Have fun scoring.
Jalen can help on any of those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're three.
Rozier's, I mean, he's much more offensively minded, but he's not bad on defense.
He's a really good defender.
Yeah.
He's a really good
So
defender.
have fun scoring, Toronto, with Kyle Lowry or DeMar DeRozan is going to have a fucking nightmare of a day trying to score with Marcus Smart on him the whole game.
Well, I still think even if he scores 25...
I don't think he
You're
would score
done.
25.
No,
I don't. I just honestly don't.
I think he would
But
just get
like
the...
Giannis getting 35, 34 points.
I think he
you know what I mean?
would. I just don't think that would accumulate to a win.
Yeah, you'll always get yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, good players get theirs in the playoffs.
It's just-
I know where you're going with this. The Celtics could make the finals. I think Houston turns them into a G
Oh, my
League
God,
team.
it would be so bad.
You think Houston turns them into a G League team?
Yes.
See, now I'm really curious because defensively speaking, that's advantage Celtics all day. You put Rozier on Chris Paul. You put Marcus Smart on James Harden, getting his way. We've already seen how that plays out. And then you got Jalen, Tatum, Horford, Baines,
I think
Monroe, all that
Rozier is really good to cover on Kyle Lowry. Mm-hmm. I think it's a much harder cover on Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's much more fundamentally sound. Right.
I would just push. I would just push him.
Just push him.
Like Chris Paul is another one that he looks like he's soft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's soft when it comes to somebody knocking him around.
He's front running tough.
Yeah.
Golden State with a healthy Steph. I mean,
they run away with it.
That's a real. Just because I don't know who covers Durant. Durant is
that's your biggest problem.
But
is Durant that much more unguardable than Giannis? I mean, he can shoot. He's got in the gym range. Yeah,
he can shoot.
So I think that's the difference. I think,
but the Celtics lead the NBA in 3-point defense.
I actually think
that's what the Warriors.
A lot of people are like really hype on Philly right now. Like super hype on Philly.
Here's the thing.
I don't think they match up well with the Celtics.
I don't think they do either.
Because they can't shoot. None of them can shoot. JJ Redick can shoot, and
Ben Simmons hasn't attempted a 3-pointer this year?
Ever. And
the true story, which is
Markelle Fultz just learned how to shoot a basketball like 2 weeks ago, and that's like
suspect.
Yeah, that's not like
at best.
Even he doesn't really shoot. He just kind of drives and hopes for layups.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I think that Celtics, even without Kyrie, and if Kyrie and Gordon Hayward are here, like
they could win the championship.
No, here's the thing: you're competing for the championship with Kyrie.
I don't care.
Kyrie, you are making the NBA Finals. The East is that wide open.
I just don't like this season. This series, like this season.
Yeah,
they make it by Milwaukee. I'm satisfied. I just want them to win one playoff series.
Get
anything else is icing on the cake.
That's all. It's all get around.
I think this year is all bonus.
Right. Exactly. I feel the same.
You're playing with house money at this point.
I'm real interested to watch these other series develop. Because if Cleveland goes down 0-2 tonight at home and now has to go to Indiana, that place is going to be rocking. That's a basketball city. You know what I mean?
Cleveland's bad.
Cleveland's not a good basketball team.
I've
been telling people that I don't think they're that good. I think they're going to be better next year without LeBron than if they didn't make the trades. Like I think having Larry Nance Jr., and
they got good young talent.
They got good young talent.
Hood, and a lot of people are looking at.
I think that they're actually better set up for next year.
A lot of people are looking at Cleveland not trading their first round pick away as like, oh, LeBron's staying. I think that's the worst take ever.
Right.
That to me, them keeping that first round pick is saying
we're
ready for LeBron to leave.
Right. No, and this is the first time since he's been in the league that they're like prepared for it.
Right.
Last time when he left, it was like
they were on the tank.
It was like, he gutted the team.
Well, last time they left, I think the NBA threw him a little favor and said, "Here, take Kyrie Irving. Like, here's the number one pick in the draft."
But what was the pick before that, or the year after that?
Right.
They drafted what's his name first pick.
Number one picks in 4 years.
Yeah, and that the first number one was Kyrie, right?
I think it was either Bennett or Kyrie first.
Kyrie first.
Bennett was
Kyrie first, then Anthony Bennett.
And then
that
Tristan
was a
Thompson.
bust and a half.
Yeah, Bennett was a bad pick.
Tristan Thompson might be first.
He might be first, maybe.
I think he is.
He could be. Yeah, I don't remember. I know that they
and
then they wound up getting Wiggins.
Yeah,
and then traded later.
No, it's Kyrie, then Bennett, then whatever. They didn't get
Thompson
first
was
round
like
pick.
fourth or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
the
then
fourth
they
pick. Yeah,
And then they got
Wiggins.
Yeah.
Which, could you imagine if they had Wiggins and not LeBron?
Or if they had LeBron,
They're like
and not Kevin Love.
Yeah.
That would be a wild situation because they would have had Kyrie, Wiggins, LeBron, Tristan Thompson. That would have been real good. I don't think they ever needed or wanted Kevin Love. Like LeBron wanted Kevin Love.
He wanted that.
Right.
Once again, this is kind of how we've always pointed back to it, is like in the NBA, especially with LeBron and a lot of these big name players, especially like LeBron, it's like, listen, I'm the mayor of this town.
Right, yeah.
If you don't do what I say, I'm going to make the public hate you.
Right.
Well, I know it might get real freaky. You know who's opting out at the end of this year?
Who's opting out at the end of this year?
Yeah, opting out of his contract.
Who?
Kevin Durant.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He came to Boston once,
Not going to happen.
and
He liked it.
He liked
He
it.
said it's his second- his
Decided to
second
go to
favorite
Golden
place.
State.
Right. He said they had the best pitch.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
a
not
free
going to have.
agent again.
Well, here's the difference, though. You're not going to be wheeling in Tom Brady. You're not going to be wheeling in fucking.
They don't have to this
Gronk.
time.
Right.
Yeah,
They
but
just come
they
to the
did last
they come to
time.
the presentation. They say, "We showed you all that other shit last time,
Right, you get
and
it.
now we wheel in Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward,
Right.
And oh yeah,
Jaylen Brown, Jason
our
Tatum.
scrubs
Right.
made the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
So I know you like to jump on the best team.
Right.
We're pretty damn good over
A little
here.
better than us. Imagine if LeBron goes to the Sixers and Kevin Durant comes to the Celtics. That would be a wild thing. That'd be very Julius Irving, Larry Bird.
I don't want LeBron to
moment
go
right
to the
there.
Sixers. I really don't want that to happen.
I do, just for the simple fact that I want him to flop. Like, I want him to go on that team.
I don't know if it would
but
flop.
I want him to go on that team and it just be
Ben Simmons,
him,
Joel
Ben Simmons,
Embiid,
and
LeBron
Embiid
James.
just can't get along.
Can't do
I
it.
want that to be like it was. I just want it to be that. I want it to be fucking just Molotov cocktails at back and forth at one
Can't
another.
have LeBron. Like LeBron, I think for LeBron's own brand, it would be bad for him to go to the 76ers.
I want him. You know what? I want him to go to the Knicks.
I really want him.
He's gonna go to the Lakers. I still think that's the number.
Yeah, I
That's
think Lakers is a
hilarious.
good spot. I think the Sixers is also.
It's a real thing.
I think the Sixers are like a smart move if you want to win a championship. I
Yeah.
think it's bad for his legacy because it's like
Oh, you went to the better younger team.
it's like a minor equivalent of what Kevin Durant did.
Right.
Like the Sixers are already really good, and all you did was just join a really good young team.
Right.
Like even when he went to Miami,
If he goes to the Timberwolves,
that would be
a wild team.
yeah. I
That'd
mean,
be a
and that
wild
wouldn't be. I don't think that would be looked as
It
As
wouldn't be
badly?
looked at as bad,
as not as bad as him going to the 76ers.
but it's probably a better team.
yeah.
Because the Timberwolves had to deal with some injuries this year.
But
I think-
like even when LeBron went to Miami, he built that team himself. Like,
Right,
there
right,
weren't
right.
like
He
he just
constructed that team,
joined
right.
Dwayne Wade. And,
Right.
Like
It
he was
him,
like,
Bosh,
we're
and Wade,
both gonna
we're
go.
all going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: that's the one thing I want to say to you is it's not going to be as big as the announcement. But if he does the same shit again and goes to L.A.,
Right.
that motherfucker will never be able to go home.
What
Well, if he goes
does he
to
tweet it and
if he go-
Instagram Live?
He
it?
will. I think he
goes-
lives in L.A. anyway, so he doesn't
He'll
really give a shit.
probably Instagram live it with like an unreleased Kendrick Lamar song in the background, and like
I'm glad you were picking up.
No,
what I'm putting
not
down.
even.
Zero Dark 2330.
No, not even an unreleased song. It's a song written for him.
For LeBron.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
Just for
actually,
that, the
we're
announcement
both wrong.
part 2.
We're both wrong. He'll be in the studio with Kendrick Lamar
Right.
as he's recording a new
Right.
song.
Right.
And he'll be live, like
Live, right
in
there.
LA with Kendrick. He's recording a new song.
For me to
I'm
go
gonna
to.
hear it first, and like we have it. You can see him back there, but you can't
Right.
hear it because only I get to hear it.
Right.
And I'm coming to LA.
And I'm going to the Lakers.
And I'm releasing an album with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. Boom. But-
Zero
wow.
Dark
That's-
2330 instead of just Zero Dark 23. He has to add the 30 in there too.
Not bad.
Oh, Jesus.
So
I want none of that.
I'm high on the seas. I'm high on the seas.
I am.
See us rise.
Listen to
Hashtag see us rise.
Philly is really
Ultra vulnerable.
harsh in my vibe because if the fucking Eagles don't win the Super Bowl and they aren't fucking title town right now, Boston might be having the best fucking sports year ever.
I know. That's true.
The Pats won the Super Bowl. The fucking Celtics are just
They're gonna
defying all odds.
defying all odds.
They're just gonna stumble their way to an
The Bruins
NBA
have an
Finals.
island made after them,
Right.
and the fucking Red Sox are the best team in baseball.
And 2, and I was going to touch on that real quick before we get to the Bruins. The Red Sox are 10th in the league in home runs,
Yeah.
which is really good considering last time we did this. They were
Well,
like
it's
20
because your
23rd.
best player just hit 3 in one
And 3
game.
in a game. They hit 6 in one game.
Wild
which is
take.
wild.
I don't think it's that wild. I think Mookie Betts is the best player in Major League Baseball.
A lot of people. I've had 2 people say that to me today. That he's definitely going to be the MVP. This
They
year.
need to sign him long term, no matter
I
how
know
much
a lot
it
of
is.
people like Bryce Harper, and Bryce Harper is ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. And I know people feel that way.
Mookie Betts is that guy.
Mookie Betts is, if he's not the best, it's Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, Mookie Betts. Like, he should be in that conversation with those 3.
Absolutely.
With those 2.
Absolutely. They're 10th in the league in all of baseball. Home runs. In home runs. 2nd in the entire major leagues.
Yeah.
In total bases. 1st in slugging percentage. That's a wildly different
And they
Boston
have,
Red Sox. This is not your older brother's Boston Red Sox of last
and they're
year.
the number 1 team in run differential.
Yes.
And they just beat the previous number 1 team in run differential
Yeah, by 9.
by 9.
By 9.
With their stud Japanese Babe Ruth on the mound.
No.
Yeah.
And they chased him out. And they
blistered up.
Well, I was going to
he's
say.
full of shit.
No.
He didn't have a blister. He did not have a blister on his hand when he pitched the first pitch to Mookie Betts that Mookie Betts took out of the
No. Later in his
sure.
outing, he had blisters.
He only gave up 3 runs. It wasn't like they tagged him all the way up.
Sure, he had a blister later, but the very first batter he faced, he gave up a home run to.
That started the blister.
That was
So he did not have a blister when he gave up that home run. So
I mean, to be honest, Mookie Betts hit 3 in that game, and they were not all against him. So
No.
he was just on.
Mookie Betts was
He
just
was
on. But I still think that if Ohtani has a blister, if Ohtani doesn't have a blister on his hand, he pitches that whole game. I still think the Sox win.
3 for 3, 3 home runs,
3
2
RBIs.
walks.
Yeah, 2 walks, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Like it was 3 solo home runs,
He's
2 walks, just
2
you're right,
walks.
2
Like,
walks.
if he
and
gotten one
the Red
more,
Sox
it'd
are
have been
doing
perfect.
this without Xander Bogaerts right now, who was their hottest hitter when he went out.
Right.
And remember what we said? We were like, we don't know. How can he only be on the 10-day day out?
Yeah.
DL. Already has his boot off.
Yeah.
Running bases. Fielding. Like, what the fuck?
I don't
Okay.
like
Is
that.
he
I don't
fucking
like that.
Wolverine?
They send him. They send
happening
He's
there?
got an adamantium skull? Like, skeleton?
They send him to Germany. He hooked up with Kobe's
Got some stem
guy,
cells in there.
Got shot up.
I like it.
And I know you guys, and me partially, not huge fans of him. Dustin Pedroia, still not there.
Right.
Who last year he was dinged up. The year before that, though, batted .318. So
Right.
he's still not back.
Right. And he batted like .297 by the end of the year
Yeah,
last year. He was
so,
their best hitter last
I
year,
mean,
above average.
You can hate him personally, but I think he adds some baseball ability to this roster.
Good singles hitter.
Yep. So get on base. Get on base so that other people can knock you in.
Right.
And David Price, I know another guy.
Yep.
You guys think he's soft? Definitely soft when it comes to the weather. Doesn't like to pitch in the
I just
cold.
think he's a wildly soft guy. Yeah.
It's only going to get warmer. I think
he's been good.
he's only going to get better as it gets warmer, I think. And same with JD Martinez. Played almost his entire career so far in Arizona, where it's hot.
Yep.
Comes here, kind of struggles in the early part of the season when it's cold. Has been warming up recently. Been hitting much better. I think as the weather gets better, JD Martinez gets better.
He's even been getting better. He's lifted his average up to
A lot.
A lot. Yeah. I'm trying to find it
Mookie
here.
Betts'
I think he
average
started
is
out
like 389.
Yeah.
It's really high.
Yeah.
Or 260 or 369 or something like that.
He's at 389.
389.
Yep.
Sale. All right, so you're talking about like,
we
well,
get
Price
that guy
will get
a W?
Here's the other thing.
Sale's a psychopath.
Well, here's the other thing. He pitched in the game the other day at Fenway where it was colder than the AFC Championship game in New England.
And no sleeves.
And no sleeves.
Right. Savage.
He's a psychopath.
Can we get that guy another W, dude? He's fucking got 4 games started. He's 1-0 with a 1.23 ERA.
He's a psychopath.
Can we get that guy some dubs? Right now, he's on pace for fucking he's gonna have a 7-0 season.
Porcello,
Just
ERA under 2.
Yeah.
I was going to say, isn't another guy coming back too? Another pitcher?
Pomerantz.
Pomerantz is coming
and
back.
Stephen Wright.
I don't care about him. Like, he
Right.
doesn't. When I think of the rotation, he's not in it anyway. So I just think, like, I just
He's a
think
great
like
spot starter.
yeah, but like
Rotation is probably
I think the rotation's not bad right now.
Sale price,
Pomerantz,
Porcello. Probably the opposite, actually.
And well, switch them.
Yeah, Porcello, Pomerantz.
Yeah, and then Rodriguez. And as long as they stay healthy,
I would actually
that's your rotation.
Well, and then Wright probably goes to like long reliever.
Long reliever, spot starter,
or
if someone needs
or hypothetically,
I don't think
you are
dinged
really up. You're dinged up on, and like all your utility guys are fucked up.
Yeah.
Trade them for somebody. Get a utility infield.
30 degrees outside.
Yeah,
hey, David. Let's
not. We know you're not going to pitch.
Let's just not even waste the time.
Yeah.
Steve, get out there.
Oh,
buddy.
we just spent all that time preparing for David Price, and now we have a guy who throws an 80-mile-an-hour knuckleball.
40 miles an hour. But yeah, the Sox are not the Red Sox that we anticipated coming off of last year.
They're also not the Red Sox you saw week 1.
Right.
They figured some things out.
Yeah. Defensively and pitching, they are. They're still a very, very good pitching team. But yeah, the bats have awoken, my friend.
Starting to. Yeah.
I mean, they've been putting up football scores lately. I mean, 14, 14, 13, 10, like a lot of those.
Great that the Yankees are bad.
Yeah, Giancarlo Stanton is on a torrid pace.
See, last week I was re-listening to last week, and you were like, "Yeah, but come on, to compare his one bad season to a guy's like unbelievable season." I'm like, it's also comparing like 2 weeks to like a guy's full season,
right? Yeah,
it's a little different, like, and it's also like obviously that guy batted 400 that year.
Yeah.
So like, I get it, but at the same time, like this guy's supposed to be, and we were talking about how like, fuck, if they go out and get Stanton, like this team's unreal.
You're also saying this guy struck out more in 2 weeks than one guy did in a full season.
Yes, right.
That
still is crazy.
That's
a crazy thing.
It's a ridiculous stat.
Right.
And it's also he's also on a team where back then, if a guy was tired, you'd just be like, hey, listen, he's batting insane this year. DH. You don't need to run at all. Like, you don't need to move until you have to get up to bat.
Right.
You can do that with Stanton. If he's sore or something's wrong, you can let him fucking DH for a game.
The thing that's wrong is that he's playing in New York now.
Yeah.
They boo him. They boo him when he plays bad.
Yeah.
Marlins fans just didn't show up.
Or they just cheered the fact that he was on the field.
Yeah. Like, there he is, our guy. That's our guy.
Also didn't realize, like, his name and, like, the way he looks, he's very deceiving to me. I was like, oh, dude, like, he's got to be from, like, Miami. Or whatever. No, he's from California.
He also went by Mike for like the first, 5 years he was in the major league.
Did he?
Leagues. Yeah.
Mike Stanton.
Mike Stanton was his
I
name.
didn't know that.
And he like changed it. Like there are baseball cards you can probably find that say Mike Stanton.
And I
also found out that he's not Spanish, which is what I thought he was. And then the guy that did the horrible call in New York when he hit his first home run.
Oh, yeah.
When he's speaking in Italian. He's not even Italian. He's fucking Irish and black. Or African American, if you want to use the political term. He's not. And I think his grandmother might be like Puerto Rican. So he's not that. I thought he was like, in Miami, he was a god because I thought he was.
Giancarlo is a little bit deceiving.
Yeah. But Mike.
Not Mike.
Mike's not. That's not that deceiving.
I want to name my kid like the most, like like if you heard the name, you'd be like, he's got to be like Lithuanian.
Yeah. Just call him like Durko.
Yeah.
Just Durko Holiday.
I want to name my kid like Estebanio, but we'll just call him like Earl.
I'm gonna name my kid
Red.
I like that.
I'm gonna name my kid Reamer. My little brother's named his son Cooper. We got Coop and Reamer from the fucking basketball movie. Nailed it.
That's a good one. That's a good. I like that almost as much as the Chris Paul LeBron James. Yeah, I kind of like
full
that.
circle.
I like
Full
that.
circle.
That comes all the way back. The Red Sox are rolling right now, 14-2, best start ever. For them, and they
lit up the fucking Asian persuasion.
Yeah,
Asian
Tiny
sensation.
Babe Ruth. They tagged him up, and they beat the best team. They beat the other best team in baseball. So now everyone says like, who have they played? And that's funny. I had a Yankees fan say to me today, like, who you guys played? I was like, oh, the Yankees. I was like, we beat up on the Yankees. So what are you saying about yourself? I was like, and
you know what I say back?
They
to
just
them?
beat the Angels.
You know what I say back to them? You're right. They haven't played anyone good.
They haven't played anybody good at all. Right, and that's why I'm just like, well, they played the.
There's actually
you guys know that.
You guys know Jared Carabas, the Red Sox guy.
Yeah,
No. I know the
He works
name.
for
I just
Barstool,
don't know
and
his.
he's like a big time Red
That's
Sox
why I
guy.
don't know.
He's the one. He's the one that Rich Keefe got in the stare down about Farrell about
Okay.
a Carrabba story.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, I know he works for Barstool, but he's actually like
Like a Red Sox beat
super
writer.
like
Yeah,
in on the red, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
he's like a beat writer. For
Yeah,
them.
he's like
he covers the team.
he's like tuned in on the Red Sox.
Yeah,
but
he's on the beat.
Yeah. He has this thing that's like,
beats them.
you hate to see it, is like his.
Oh, you hate
his
to see
thing.
that. Yeah,
you hate to see that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Giancarlo Stanton struck out 5 times. You hate to see that.
See, wasn't
But
that,
he says it like
that
sarcastically.
came from a New York? Was that New York radio?
I don't know.
Where they were talking about that, like, or maybe it was the call or something on the Yankees game where Giancarlo struck out for the 5th time, and the announcer was like, "Oh, you hate to see that,"
Yeah.
or whatever. So
He
now
just
he's
keeps
totally
saying it.
embraced that,
Yeah, you
and
hate to
made
see
that.
it.
Oh, you hate to see it. Oh, you hate to see
And
that.
he also does. He does like the Section 10 podcast, which is like his Red Sox podcast.
Yeah, yeah,
And he had him and his co-host wrote letters to Rob Manfred
yeah. But where's the competition?
about how bad the competition is in the MLB and how
And they
they
won't
don't
stand
think,
for it anymore.
how it's awful that the Red Sox are just blowing through teams.
That's me.
It's awesome. It's really good, and I like where he was. He's in the Barstool headquarters. This is on like the Barstool Instagram feed
Yeah.
or whatever, and he's like, "Dude, what's going on with Giancarlo?" or whatever. And he's like kind of mocking him, like, "Dude, like fuck you, whatever. You have a terrible New York impression, by the way. When you do your New York accent, it sounds awful." He's like, "If all you have is my New York accent's bad, that's a huge win for this."
He
squad."
does the Kermit voice. Have you ever seen him do the Kermit voice?
No.
Like he does like a Kermit the Frog voice, like, "Oh my God, the Red Sox are so bad, the pitching." And whenever he does like a New York thing, he
Yeah,
just does
he
the
does
Kermit the Frog voice.
I love it. He's like, if all you guys have about me is how bad my New York accent is, that's a great win for the squad. He's like, we're doing well. We're doing real well, whatever. I like Carrabba's is real cool.
There's
He's a good dude.
a Yankees guy who works at Con College when I deliver, and he's like drives around and delivers stuff specifically for Con College, and he's a Yankees guy, and the guy he works with all the time is a Red Sox guy.
Yeah.
So before the season started, when they got Giancarlo, he would chirp me all the time.
Yeah.
Because my truck is a Yankees truck, which I have no control over.
Right.
But I have Red Sox gear on, so he would chirp me because he knows I don't like the Red Sox, don't like the Yankees, and he would just be like, "Oh, we're gonna bring it to you this year. We're gonna bring it to you this year." Then we lost the opening day, and the Yankees fucking lit it up on opening day, and he chirped me again, and then we started winning, so I chirped him back a little bit. And then we beat the Yankees, and I chirped him back a little bit. Then the fight happened, and the Yankees beat us. So he chirped me and talked about how fucking Judge and Stanton were just like pushing the whole team, the whole Red Sox team, like into
Because
their
they're
dugout.
massive.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you have big guys. That doesn't mean anything. Like none of them are as cool as Joe Kelly. So,
Nope.
by the way, there was a cut to Joe Kelly during one of the games.
Yeah.
Where he was sitting like a woman with like his
I did not see that.
his leg, like, you know, guys sit
Yes.
cross-legged,
Yeah.
and then there's like knee to knee
Yeah.
cross-legged.
Yeah.
That's how Joe Kelly was sitting, and I don't know if he was doing it as a joke because he was like talking to the other person, but he sat like that for like an extended period of time. It was actually making me uncomfortable.
Why does it make you uncomfortable?
I don't like when guys sit like that. I'm okay.
So every time you come over, I'm going to have to sit like that from now on? Is that what you're telling me,
I'm
Joe?
okay with the ankle on the knee kind of sitting.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
no, I'm following what
All right.
you're talking about.
But when the knee, the back of the knee is touching the top of
What
the
about
other
it?
knee,
What is that? How does that affect you?
there should be kibbles and bits.
That's
in
what I'm saying.
between
Is that you saying?
that should stop
But what
you
if-
from sitting like that?
But to
comfortably?
not take this far down the
Nope.
the-
I'm okay with taking this down.
down
I'm
that
also,
road.
I'm also a knee-to-knee guy.
You are not a
I
knee
sit
to
a
knee.
knee-to-knee guy.
That
Yeah, I
is-
was gonna say. Here's the other thing. What happens if you're just a grower, not a shower,
I listen.
and all you got to worry about is the old berries?
I don't
hanging?
think it has to do. I don't think it has to do. I think it's like a. It's
old
like
berries.
I think it's like a bigger guy thing
Mm-hmm.
where it's like I don't think I can sit like that
I can.
comfortably.
I think we're
I'm
all
fatter
bigger
than both
guys.
of
Yeah, I was
you.
gonna say, we're all
I
bigger
don't.
guys.
I don't think you sit like that.
I do.
I'm calling you out. I'm
I
calling you
do. I
out.
do sit like that.
I don't think
I'll
you
go
sit
sit like
knee
that
to
right
knee.
now.
Not for an extended period of time.
I'll go do it.
Nope. I don't need to see this.
Jesus, Dave.
You're just gonna.
We're
make,
not. You know what? We're not.
You're just gonna make me uncomfortable. You're just.
I always sit like this.
That's how he
You're
sits
just gonna.
all
Your
the time.
knee is elevated though. Huh? You're.
Me and Aaron had a conversation on Sunday. Saturday,
Yes.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Come to the island, come. No?
We've realized why the number 69 is so disappointing for me.
Okay.
So I figured we could knock this is episode 69. I figured we could knock this out right here.
You
Wait,
can just
hold
finish
on.
the episode with this.
Yeah.
You want me to tease it?
You can
We'll
tease
tease it. We'll tease it.
That's all you can say.
All right.
That's all you can say.
Stay
We'll see.
tuned.
Is this?
Stay tuned to
I
the
think
end.
that should be the fade out story.
The fade outs. No,
Yeah.
no,
We're
you gotta hear
finishing
it.
strong with
I
that
gotta
story.
hear
All right.
Literally finishing strong
All right.
with that story.
Let's talk Bruins.
Yep, let's get right into the Bruins Island. They're up 2-1 in their series, heading to Game 4 tomorrow.
How do you
Tomorrow, I believe. Is that tomorrow? Does anyone know? Am I wrong?
I think it might be tonight.
Is it tonight?
NHL playoffs? They just spread the fuck out of the games.
You know, the basketball and NHL players are so bad.
By the time this
NBA
is played,
yeah.
they've
NBA
played a
is bad.
game.
That's true.
They're playing on the 19th, so which would be tomorrow for us now.
Tomorrow for us, right?
The
So
day,
Thursday.
yeah, Thursday. So
How about that game last night?
we don't have to do that. We're just like
They
fake.
moved that puck around. You
Yeah,
know,
they really moved. There
they
was
took
lots
those
of
shots. Yeah.
What did I call for? 5?
You said 5.
I said 5.
I said
They-
6.
I knew they would get
said
one.
six. Yeah. I said.
Yeah,
You
you
said
I said
hot
if I'm
take
doing
day.
my Hardo
Yeah.
Boston shtick,
Yeah.
my Bruin shtick, then I say sweep.
Right.
If I want to be
Realistic. about
realistic, I probably say 6.
it. 6.
I said 5.
5. So still in play.
They're scoring like a motherfuckers.
They are. It's a high score.
Tuca.
You coming to the island?
No.
God
On the
damn it!
block, on the Block Island Ferry.
No, because you.
I'm gonna close the island down soon.
I don't care. Once again, I have my dinghy. You don't know what they are, so I can just row around wherever I want.
I am fine with you riding a dinghy somewhere far away from the island.
Just let that go forever. Let that play.
But no, just I think like I have one of my friends, my friend Jackie. She is in love with Tuukka Rask. He's so awesome. This and that, and I'm like, he's the ugliest man in hockey. And she's just.
He doesn't sit knee to knee though.
I bet you he does. That is one lanky motherfucker.
Nope. Yep. But he's
Nope.
He's
Yep.
probably more
there are
like.
no hockey players that sit knee to knee. None.
No, I think no. There's a guy that
Sidney
used to play
Crosby,
for the
maybe.
Rangers. That he did fashion.
Sorry. Sorry
Wow.
about that. That was an accident.
That's
Okay.
the new knee to knee
That's the
music.
new need music. A little seduction right there. Sorry about that.
Don't act like you're not it. And then it just cuts
You
off.
know who does
halfway.
sit knee to knee? Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy.
He does.
He is a need to be guy.
No, they're scoring. It's just for whatever reason Tuca decided to, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, shit the bed up in Toronto. Did you hear about what happened in Toronto too?
No.
With the fucking stadium there? That like they literally had to like postpone. I think they had to cancel they were having so many issues with like their stadium and everything. They had to cancel a Blue Jays game. Like Toronto was getting hammered by like this crazy storm, so they were worried they weren't even going to get the game in.
Well, do the Raptors and Leafs play at the same stadium like the
I think
Bruins?
so,
Celtics do?
yeah. But they had to have a double head. They had to have a double player. I think today or tomorrow or yesterday it might have been for the Blue Jays.
Oh, it's like snowing there. Still.
Yeah, they got a fucking something so much buildup on a building that's like above it fell off
Holy shit.
and like put a hole in the ceiling.
Really?
So they've like had horrible
Oh,
weather
man.
there. You couldn't fly in. The reporters from Boston had to get in a car and drive to Toronto.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
They couldn't fly in.
Sorry.
The team. The team flew in.
Yeah.
But like they flew in like a day early, so they didn't get hit by the storm.
Oh, sorry about that. It's
Yeah.
like a Tim Hortons gift card now, don't you know?
No,
That's funny.
But I
that's
think
crazy.
I think they're playing really well. They did play Donato,
Yeah.
and he did not play well
Oh,
while he was
Harvard.
on the ice.
Oh, that Harvard.
I know. It's because he was probably banging too many fucking co-eds.
He doesn't sit knee to knee, I'll tell you that.
Maybe he does.
You might.
I'm going to say knee to knee is a serial killer move. I'm putting it on
nah,
the list.
nah,
I'm putting it.
I'll say this right
trying
now,
to tell me all
MJ
serial killers don't sit knee to knee?
No.
I'll
No.
tell you what, Charles Manson sat knee to knee.
Okay, all right. Here's what I will say.
Charles Manson sat knee to knee.
A
Look me
majority-
dead in the eyes and tell me
A
Charles
majority of
Manson.
serial killers probably do sit knee to knee.
All right.
But I don't think a majority of knee to knee sitters are serial killers.
That's I don't
So-
think you
So
can
now he's
say
calling
one
all
thing.
women.
serial
Now he's
killers.
calling
No,
all women.
Come
male-
on, dude. In today's day and age,
Male serial killers sit knee to knee.
not all need
Not
to
all.
need. That's
If
what I'm saying,
all
not
serial
need-
killers sit knee to knee,
Yeah,
that
no.
means serial kill male sitting knee to knee
What
is a serial killer
does
move.
that sentence mean? I'm gonna get that as a drop. I gotta pull
If
that.
all serial killers sit knee to knee,
Yeah.
that means
All knee to knee sitters.
all
are
knee
serial
to knee
killers.
sitters are serial killers.
That's absolutely not true.
Yeah, it
because
is.
there's more people in this world than there are serial killers. Because if that was
If
the
it's-
opposite case, there would definitely be more dead people than
If
alive.
all serial killers sit knee to knee,
Yeah.
that means it has to be a serial killer move.
That's like saying all black people are from Africa. All right, like this. We'll
That
do
is
this.
that is a
Here's this. Here's this.
wildly not true take.
If all Africans are black, right?
It's not true. South Africa.
So we'll say 9 out of 10. We'll say 9
Most
out
of them are English anyway. So
of, 9
go
out
ahead.
of 10 Africans are black in skin color, right?
All right.
The majority.
Yeah.
That would mean the majority of black people are from Africa.
No, because there's
Yeah, no,
like
that's the same thing as
Jamaicans
your. That's
and
the
whatever.
same thing as your knee to knee thing.
No, it's not.
It's the exact same thing.
No.
That is the exact. That's the you lost that.
No,
You lost
I'm
that
saying if all serial killers sit knee to knee,
one. Yeah,
it's a trait of serial killers that they sit knee to knee.
right. But you're saying all knee to knee.
I'm saying that it has to be on the list of serial killer traits
no.
if you sit knee to knee.
I'm deleting this whole clip.
You
right
could
here,
tell me, you could look me in the eye and
Yeah.
say, I
sit knee to knee,
think
and I haven't
hot
killed more than one
dogs.
person
I
in my
think
life.
hot dogs are a sandwich.
Hot dogs are a sandwich, by the way. We got fucked on this.
No, they're not. The bread's not split.
That's a fucked definition by Google. You go to Merriam-Webster. It says, or a roll split in half, stuff with meat in the middle.
No,
and
no.
with a picture of a hot dog as a sandwich.
Yeah, that Merriam-Webster,
Definitely
little known
fucked.
fact, Merriam-Webster, serial killer. So we can't trust
Right,
what they
I
say.
can't trust them anyway. And MJ wanted me to let you know that the picture of a sandwich for them, of a grinder on the Merriam-Webster, has whole leaf lettuce on it, not shredded.
This is proof to what I'm saying.
He was like, "Tell Joe," whatever. I was like, "Okay."
They also say a hot dog's a sandwich,
I was
MJ.
like,
So
that's what he said. He's like, he messaged me and Kevin. He says, "Can you believe that Dave doesn't think a fucking hot dog is a sandwich?" I'm like, "It's not." And he's like, "Yes, it is." So I screenshot the definition that I showed you before about the two separate pieces of bread.
Yeah.
And he says, "Does that look like a Merriam-Webster definition to you?" I was like, "It does." He goes, And then he goes Merriam-Webster.com, searched sandwich definition, and then it has the whole thing. And it's like, or a piece of bread
Listen,
or a roll that's split in two.
Google,
And I was like, I'll get back with my team and deliberate. I'll talk to you later.
Google is wildly more trustworthy
Than Merriam-Webster.
than Merriam-Webster.
Okay.
Because Google, Google, Merriam-Webster is one group's decision on what is right.
If you type that in, you're gonna get all.
Google is a bunch of different links.
Okay,
That's
so
opinions from all over.
so Google-
muddy the
and,
waters.
So-
and the majority of people that means think that a hot dog is not a sandwich
So
because what does it say on
Google-
Google when you type it in?
So Google
it says two
gives-
pieces of bread.
Google also gives you the Urban Dictionary version of it too.
I'm telling you, Google
So
pulls their
that's part of it.
It's
That's
like,
a definition.
It's like if I pulled a million people.
What are we doing?
If I pulled
he
a
wants
million,
to go down this road.
if I
He's going to
pulled
talk
a
him into
million
corner.
people, if I pulled a million people,
Joe,
and
you're
said,
already in the corner.
Is 2 + 2 4? And Merriam-Webster was 10 people, and they said no, it's 6.
Right.
That would be like I go to Merriam-Webster and I say, "What is a sandwich?" And those 6 people are like, "It's 6."
Right.
Or Google would take the other 99 and Merriam-Webster and say, well, 99% of people say 2 + 2 is 4. These 10 idiots over here who happen to run the biggest dictionary on the planet say 6.
Right.
Google takes more information in and spits it out.
So-
and they say a hot dog is not a
So
sandwich.
actual scholars that actually like have.
The Academy Award picked like a terrible movie to win all the time, and those are supposed to be like the smartest people ever.
No, those are people that work in the
Exactly.
no.
Merriam-Webster's work in the industry.
No. The difference is you're trying to make it work for you. It's not.
It is.
Take that for data.
It's working very well.
Because people say it all the time, that like the Oscars and all that stuff, it's all like a popularity
It's
contest.
just like
It has
Merriam-Webster.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You're not voting on it. Fans don't go, hey, this is a great
Yeah,
definition.
I don't get to vote on what the definition of a sandwich is. If I did,
So
I would
write
tell
them.
Merriam-Webster
So write them. Okay.
they're wrong.
Okay, so you can write them. Anyway, so the Bruins
So it's decided a
are
sandwich,
not.
a hot dog is not a sandwich.
Have you seen the fucking Las Vegas Golden Knights?
They're now the
swept LA.
They're now the co-favorites to win the series.
Swept
Or win
LA.
the cup.
Like, swept them off the fucking
Is LA
ice.
good?
Yeah.
Playoff
Jonathan,
team.
they won the cup like 2 years ago. Jonathan Quick's from Connecticut, too.
Right, yeah,
From
yeah.
New Canaan.
New Canaan. Nice name drop.
All right.
I could not think of
You're
it.
welcome.
I like that one. Yeah, Craig and I were talking about this at work. He's a Bruins fan, but likes what the Kings have done, like being an expansion team.
The
He says
Knights
that-
or the Kings?
I'm sorry, the Knights.
The Knights.
Sorry about that, yeah. He's like, has there ever been an expansion team to make the finals?
There's never been an expansion team to like make the playoffs.
Make the playoffs. Okay, that's kind
Never
of
mind
So I said,
this.
I told him, I said, other than when they went from the original 6 to like 12.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Other
yeah.
than that, you know what I mean? Then sure,
Like a team that came in when they've already got 25,
Right.
30, and they're like, or no, well, it has to be even numbers, but like 26 or 30, and they're like, hey, we're just going to add a team.
Well, I think there's 31 in hockey now, right?
Yeah, they
Right,
make
it's
them
an
an
odd
odd number.
Yeah, it's a wild thing.
The fuck is that?
They were saying that there's like 2 or 3 there's like 3 teams in the league that you could like
dissolve,
and people would be like, we're cool. That
Sure, yeah,
Vegas
just
plays
give us
well.
the players, yeah.
Does Seattle have one?
No.
No, Seattle doesn't have a major sports team except for the Mariners
Yeah, I feel like they would do
Seattle?
well with a hockey team.
and the Seahawks.
Jesus, Dave.
Yeah, yeah.
You were
I
like,
think
the
they lost their
Mariners.
best-
I was like, the
Yeah, yeah.
fucking Seahawks?
I forgot, but ever since they lost the Supersonics, I forget that they have.
They put a hockey team up there. They'd probably do well. Those Seattle
It's
fans-
really close to Vancouver.
That's what it is. That's what they said. Vancouver's so close.
yeah.
People will actually drive to Vancouver
Oh,
to
yeah,
see
it's
games.
literally like
Yeah.
it's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm
forgot
still
about
saying
that.
6. If the Bruins win tomorrow night,
You're jumping
it'll
off
be
that.
five.
Yeah,
It'll
it'll be 5. Yeah.
5. So then they'll head back home for
Yes.
game 5 and they'll be all
Yeah.
set.
It'd be nice.
I think they can make it a series. They could lose. The Bruins lose tomorrow. Win game 5. Close it out game 6 down
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
finish that up. I don't think it'll go 7.
Neither do I.
Is it 2-2-1-1-1?
2-2-1-1-1.
And
It
their
could go 7.
and like their best
If
player
everyone just
got himself
holds-
suspended.
Right.
He came back. I think this last game he came back,
If everyone just holds,
or he comes
Yeah,
back.
Yeah, normally you get to win. I mean, you don't have to, obviously, if you're the Bruins, but they say a series doesn't start until you win a road game. So,
Yeah.
figure that out, I guess. I mean, really, if the Bruins win a road game, then the series is basically over.
Yeah, as long as you,
It didn't really start.
if you win at home every game at home,
Right,
and you win one road game, you win it all.
All right,
Yeah.
1-5, not bad. Yeah, no, I'm interested to see how that goes. Also, yeah, the Knights, crazy.
It's insane.
Knights Bruins,
Like all their biggest fans are like porn stars.
it's
That's all my Twitter gets like. Oh, I try to look up like them.
Yeah.
It's like all their followers, like all their tweets. It's like, hey, it's like 4 porn stars all sitting together and like,
It's a shame
and
that
everyone
they're-
taking photos with them
Yeah.
at the games.
It's a shame that they'll end up losing to the Bruins.
in the finals.
They still have to make it out of the West, but I think they're making a really good case for
Well,
Cup.
you just said all their fans are porn stars. It's a really good way to distract the other team from.
Including
tear your own ACLs.
Yeah, or distract the Bruins when they have to go there to play.
Right, that's that Vegas flu, man.
well, I mean, the Bruins aren't going to lose another game the rest of the playoffs. So
It's a hot take, Joe. Okay.
Wow, Joe. He's doubling down
He's
on
doubling
this.
down on
That's
it.
because he built a fucking island.
Yeah. Joe, this is in all seriousness. Joe has been working tirelessly.
yeah, the people think I'm joking. I've actually built an island.
He's at
You
like
know,
a
there's
local
literally a
beach.
sandbox built in the back seat of his car.
There's a real island.
It's a real island somewhere.
I live within a very short distance of Patchogue Pond,
Yep.
and I have been dumping sand into the middle of that pond
Yeah, just
continuously.
Slowly, every day he
Since I
rolls out
brought
there
it
with a
up.
bucket. Every day he rows out into the
I
middle
have
with a bucket.
one or
Never
two pails.
once. I have never once fully described how big the island is. Therefore, I do not think I've led anyone on
That's
when
true.
I tell you
You're
There is
claiming that there's going to be 2 statues on
there
it.
is an island.
Funko
I
Pop.
never said how big the statues were either.
Yeah, he just gets a Funko Pop of Rick Nash.
I
Good to go.
am 100% correct when I say there is an island big enough for one person currently in the middle of Patchogue Pond.
And he keeps asking if we want to join, probably because he wants us to bring more sand.
Yes, if you join, you will be responsible for building your own parts of the
And
island.
that's why he doesn't care if you bring your dinghy, because he's like, whatever.
Your dinghy is,
much.
if
it'd
I
actually be
must
great if
admit, much bigger than my island. Actually, if you wouldn't mind hosting, I will take the sand and put it in your dinghy,
in your dinghy,
and we will call it the Bruins Dinghy.
Bruins Dinghy Island. Not bad. Bruins Island dinghy.
That's the real reason I'm going to shut off access to the island, just because I can't make it any bigger. I'm running out of sand.
I have no
My
more
yard
sand.
has a bunch of holes in it, and I just can't.
I'm just wildly out of sand
Yeah.
here. Before we get to the Patriots, everyone's still holding up on their bets on their 5, 6, 6
For the Bruins?
for the Bruins. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sticking to 5.
So,
yeah.
I don't know if anyone jumps.
I
in.
was
What about
already-
the Celtics? Anyone
So what did I say? I might have said they lost.
I think you said they lose in 7.
Lose in
I think you
7,
said, yeah. Do you want to change that?
I'm not going to change it because I'm not going to like back off of what I said.
like when Aaron picks
Yeah.
Boston teams to lose because they win.
My buddy Matt has been infuriating me. Like, as we watched the game, he's like, "Oh man, they're really bad at setting picks." We're talking on the phone. I'm like, "No, that was a fake. It was a fake pick. It wasn't a real screen and roll. It was just a draw 'em up, get a feel." Especially early in the first quarter, the Celtics do this a lot, where they draw up a fake screen to see how the defender is going to play it. Are they going to try to go over it or under it? And so they run a bunch of like kind of real light screens just to get the feel for what the defender's doing. And he's like, "Man, they can't set a screen worth a shit." I'm like, "Dude, I gotta go. Like, I can't do this." And he's like, "They're gonna lose this game. Oh my god!" So then the second quarter's happening. Brad Stevens says they tried to lull him to sleep, whatever. Threw it to the other team for a while, see how they handled it. He's like, "Dude, they're gonna lose this game. They're gonna lose this game." I'm like, "Hey, can I fucking talk to you another time than now?" Like, I'm fucking pissed watching this game. But he's been doing this too. So he's like, he messaged me, "Hey, Celtics are on a bad run. I can't. I'm not gonna watch. I feel like every time I watch, they start losing." I'm just like, "Yeah, well then turn your fucking break your television then, because fucking don't ever watch the Celtics again."
Put it outside. Look at it with a pair of binoculars.
Yeah, just break it. Just break your television forever. Never watch the Celtics. I'm gonna stick with mine too. 6, but that might be 5.
I know that's what's crazy. It might be 5.
Yeah, they could do it at 5.
If they can win, they're up 2-0, the Celtics?
Up 2-0, they play again Friday.
If they can win the first one in Milwaukee, they sweep.
Series over.
They sweep.
Yeah. But I would think they might.
I think they sweep.
Yeah.
I think
5.
I think Giannis will still give you one
don't know.
game.
Look at a hero game.
Where he literally just goes, "Listen, I'm going to score 50.
I think I'm
going to score 50
plus.
Yeah. I think that's going to happen somewhere. I don't.
Yeah.
He'd have to pull straight up like Devin Booker.
Yeah, just like I'm going for 73.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Fuck it.
Yeah, just I'm going nuts. This is Kobe's last game. Like, just fucking. Why did you take 60 shots?
Why did you take 8 3-point shots?
Yeah, what are you doing?
You can't shoot regular
You're
shots.
not
You
a
can
good
shoot a
shooter.
3.
You're not a good shooter. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think the Celtics have
Playing great.
A lot of wiggle room to get further than I think most people
Yeah.
anticipated. I think they might wind up in a further destination in the playoffs.
It really depends.
Based more on the fact as to
if Indiana
the East
beats Cleveland,
that's a game
just
changer.
all hell breaks loose in the East.
Right,
Oh,
yeah,
totally.
Yeah. Yep. That's a total game changer. And if Miami beats Philly,
Super all hell breaks loose.
right. If both those things happen,
Yeah.
Celtics might be in the finals.
Actually, if both those things happen, it actually brings more structure because I think you might as well pencil in Toronto, Boston as the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
And then
who knows?
Yeah.
Right. And as they match up well, that's what I'm saying. I haven't closed the door on the Celtics yet. I like I said, I wouldn't call your bookies. I'm not saying, this is a Dave Loss day. They're definitely going to win the championship.
I just think it's wild that Shane Larkin
fucking
is out there balling.
so important now. He's so important.
I'm not in on them winning the championship, but
I'm not in on them winning the championship, but I would not be stunned by a finals appearance.
Happy beat Giannis.
Be honest.
In Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I would love to see them beat Philly.
Right.
Like
I think they can. That's what I was saying last
beat
week.
Philly, and then I don't care what happens.
Right. That's last week. That was my thing. Win 2 rounds.
Obviously, I would love for them to win the whole thing.
Right.
But I'm not going to be like really pissed off when they lose.
Did you hear about the anonymous coach that says he doesn't understand why Brad Stevens gets all this buzz about him? What has he done?
Oh, is that Joe Prunty?
Joe Prunty?
That's the coach of the Bucks.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. A lot of people think it's Steve Kerr because the Warriors have never really had anything nice to say about the Celtics. Probably based on the fact that the Celtics. The only thing that was nice that was said by Steve Kerr was that the Celtics remind them a lot of themselves in the 5 years, like that they're going to be the team in 5 years.
Is it a wild take that I don't like Steve Kerr?
I don't hate Steve Kerr.
I feel like he's a wildly likable person.
I'm not.
A wildly likable person. Yeah.
So I guess I get it.
I
just don't.
Yeah.
Something about him. Like I've watched him in interviews and stuff. I'm just like,
It's Eric Spoelstra. That's who said it.
I just
He wasn't even nominated for Coach of the Year.
what's the big deal?
I was last year.
Yeah. I made the. I didn't even make the playoffs.
I have to reassess my hate for Eric Spoelstra. I think he actually is a good coach.
He's a
No,
really
he
good coach.
is.
He's a really good coach.
I think
actually is a
LeBron
good
James made him look
He
horrible because
he just beat like the up and coming team in the East with
Right.
a like 75-year-old Dwayne Wade. Pretty
Yeah,
much
who
is his
went
only player.
off.
Oh yeah.
Went off.
Well,
totally tap back.
it was what's his name? Reggie Miller versus Spike 2.0.
Right,
It
yeah,
was
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Dwayne Wade versus Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
He just looked Kevin Hart in the soul
Yeah. Just,
every single time he shot the ball.
Right.
Just like
Right.
What
Who
are you
was
doing?
it? Who's Toronto playing right now? Washington.
yeah.
Drake was chirping at John Wall.
Hi.
Did you see that? He's like, "Hey John,
Drake makes some
six buzz." I was like,
Drake makes some good music. I hate the way he talks.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
No.
are you from Toronto or Jamaica? You need to make
Right,
your
he's a
mind
little
up.
bit of-
He
yeah.
does this weird
There's
a
a
Jamaican like
there's a large community
accent though, but
There's
he's
a-
not Jamaican.
There's a large community of Jamaican people that live in Canada.
But Drake himself is not a Jamaican person.
No, but
he
you
is
do become
he is African American
you
and
pick
Jewish.
you pick up the accent of the culture that you're in.
Awesome. He also split his time.
Awesome.
He also split his time between like the southern United States,
Right.
and Toronto,
Right.
and I don't know the first like 20 years he was in the like national spotlight. Never talked like that.
No.
So
He's developed this thing.
You don't think he just hung out in
this ting.
in Jamaica, Queens, with
I
just
don't- do I think
literally
he just-
snorkeling Nicki Minaj's ass?
do I think
and
he
then
just-
picked up the accent?
do I think he just hung out in Toronto with Jamaican people when he's supposed to be touring the world?
Yeah.
No.
I think he just developed this ting.
I think he just talks like it because he wants to be cool.
He just developed this
I mean,
ting.
he was.
No.
He's
No,
also the
no,
guy in the
no,
wheelchair
no.
from fucking Degrassi.
His
So
wheelchair
I think that's why a lot of
Guess
people
what?
give him
He
shit.
didn't talk
Don't
like
be a
that
rude
when he
boy.
was in a wheelchair.
Don't be a rude boy. Okay? He just developed this ting.
Nope. Stop that, Dave. Dave, no.
You guys sound like some real rude boys.
You know what's weird though? There's
Sorry.
not a lot.
That's how I want Drake to talk. Oh, sorry.
You want Canadian ass Drake.
Oh, sorry
That's what
about
you want.
sorry about that.
Yeah. See,
But
I
here's
would hate
the
that.
thing.
Imagine rapping like that? Being a real Canadian
that would be
rapper.
amazing.
That would be
Right.
stupendous.
Yeah.
I need a whole album about Tim Hortons.
I want a mix. I want a real Canadian ass Jamaican guy. Like, sorry
Ooh,
about that.
sorry
rude boy.
about this thing.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, ting.
Sorry about this thing.
Sorry about this thing. That's
This is
that
wild.
actually
God.
that
No,
actually
okay,
so-
kind of sounds like Drake. That's
Sorry.
kind of what we
Wildly offensive.
Yeah.
Wildly offensive.
We have a lot to take out of this
Stereotypes
episode.
we just-
No, but I was going to
Cut
say
the whole
is
thing. Do that thing where we just fast forward.
It's a-
We
not really
talked
an-
about absolutely nothing for this whole episode.
hey, we just went absolutely nuts, so we're just going to save you. Hey, don't be a rude boy. Don't do this thing. Just fucking that'll be it. They're like, what
He
is he
sat
doing?
knee to knee.
Oh god.
no. I was going to say is the one thing like we're talking about like we're talking about Drake being there and Kevin Hart. Who's like the famous person that goes to like the Celtic games?
It's the guy that didn't spill his beer last night. He's been a season ticket holder since like the 70s or something for 20
That
plus
was
years.
awesome.
You know the guy?
Yeah.
He's always there,
Yeah.
not a celebrity, just a
Dude.
Boston faithful.
Yeah.
And he got bumped into by Jason Tatum, held the beer up, no problem. Come to find out though, Instagram's a motherfucker. There was a lid on that beer.
Wait,
But he
what?
took a bunch of credit. Yeah, don't love that.
I love that.
Yeah. But everyone's like,
That's
oh,
that's
hey!
I know that's a serial killer move.
Yeah.
You got a lid on your beer.
lid on the beer. Yeah,
I like that.
Didn't like it, but that's that.
No, like I know they promoted a lot, like especially on like Instagram and Twitter. I saw a lot of like
Patriots go.
Edelman,
Yeah.
and then Celtics games is usually Patriots players,
Mm-hmm.
and then at like Bruins games, randomly the fucking Red Sox.
Yeah.
Did you see? So obviously we talked about how Joe Kelly got the round of applause and stood up in the box and everything. Did you see in the background like just like golf clapping, fucking David Price, smiling. And people were like, look at him, he's happy there. I'm like, no, he's just happy they're not booing him right now.
Right, yeah. That's all that is. Moving on to the Pats. It's Tom Brady.
I don't care.
Rob Gronkowski.
I don't care.
Are they playing? Are they not playing?
You have 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Let's draft everybody.
It was
and
the
fuck them.
worst clickbaity story of all time. With the Tom Brady has not told anyone.
Still,
that
it's on
he
fucking
plans.
ESPN. He is not committed to 2018.
Right.
Jerry Thornton said he has a report on good authority that Tom Brady already has workouts planned with the wide receivers.
Yep.
Right.
And he was just in Foxborough,
Right.
like
With
running
Edelman.
through things with Edelman.
Yeah.
He's playing.
Here's the problem. They're doing fitness stuff right now. Him and Gronk.
Weightlifting. He doesn't do that.
Right. Him and Gronk have been working out with Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
And
Across the
supposedly
street.
they both plan on showing up when they start doing football activities.
Mm-hmm.
So since Belichick banned Guerrero, and any other year Guerrero's been there so they could do their workout stuff, and then Brady could go get, whatever vigorously rubbed.
down.
Rubbed in. Now he's not allowed there, but he said, well, then it's voluntary.
Yeah.
So I'm going to volunteer myself to Alex Guerrero again and go do my thing. He's been around town. So as soon as football stuff starts, they'll show up. Won't be a problem. Though I am getting closer and closer to believing this is it. This is the year.
I think Belichick's done. That's it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's one or the other. I mean, this is to the point where Bill Simmons was on, I think, and he said, do you think it's going to get to a point where they say, Rob, it's us or him? Robert Kraft. It's either Gronk and Brady, him and I, or Bill. You got to choose.
Who would you choose? And you're like, every time Brady's name comes up, I have to not look
think Belichick's
at
to
you.
blame. I think Belichick's to blame.
Why?
I think he has done a poor job managing the personalities of his superstars.
Example.
They're mad at him. I think that's the
players
that is
get
the
mad at
example.
their coaches, but
Right. They're
what's
real
the-
mad at him.
for what? Because Alex Guerrero's not allowed in the locker room?
Some of that, I think.
If that's your only reason,
Yeah.
that is the players at that point, in my eyes,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a leg to stand on.
See, I think it is. I think it's a coach's job to do whatever things help their talent the most. And if they believe, and if it makes him more comfortable, and if it's working, you know what I mean? Like, never has a Alex Guerrero treatment on Tom Brady cost Tom Brady in a game. You know what I mean? If it's working, I think these are planet players, as Mike Reese puts them. You know what I mean? They're the best players at their positions in the league. So they're all planet players. There has to be a difference.
Mm-hmm.
You have to manage them differently.
So I'm going to say this just to totally make it
Do it.
crazy.
Yeah.
Ever seen the movie Slapshot?
No.
It's about hockey. It's a 70s hockey movie.
Yeah,
It's probably
yeah.
the first
I know of
hockey
it.
movie.
Yeah.
It's about minor league hockey, but basically the idea is all these players have different personalities. One of them fucks women in the locker room before he goes out there and plays. Mm-hmm. And then he plays his game.
Right.
And he thinks it's whatever. So if Tom Brady said to him, hey, listen, Giselle has to come in. I have to go into the little I'm going to have to go slip into the area where they were deflating footballs. She has to give me a Hummer before the game.
90 seconds.
Keep everybody out of there for 90 seconds.
I'm never deflating footballs, but
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
right,
you know what I
right,
mean?
yeah.
Like, it's
Sure.
at a certain point, you're going to end up catering to everybody, which you can't do. If you say, here's the other thing about it, Belichick did try to do that. He did. Obviously, Guerrero was allowed in the locker room. He was allowed to do all this stuff. He was allowed us all this access.
Mm-hmm.
Guerrero essentially started telling players,
right.
maybe not outright saying it, but insinuating, yeah, they're not training you right. I can train you better.
Right. No, I don't blame Belichick for removing Guerrero.
That's what I'm. If that's their only reason why they're mad, though.
Right. But I do blame him for not healing that wound with Tom then.
Belichick's done.
If you know that's an issue, and you know that that's the reason why Tom's mad at you,
Yeah.
or Rob, or whoever, if that's the reason, he has very stubbornly handled this, where he hasn't tried to mend it. You know what I mean? Like, what is it, or that we know of. So this is just based on my perspective, based on the information
What we see publicly. What we see publicly.
What in which story has Bill Belichick done something to extend the olive branch back to Tom Brady?
I would say this. You've played for him for 18 years?
Mm-hmm.
You know what he's doing.
Right.
You're smart enough, you're intelligent enough,
mm-hmm.
you're savvy enough as a player, and you've been there long enough.
Right.
You know what he's doing.
I think the fact that we talked about this a couple weeks ago,
mm-hmm.
where as humans in a workforce, and granted what they do is crazy, they make millions of dollars, whatever,
mm-hmm.
but it's their job.
Yes.
So just on a employee standpoint, you want to be told you're doing a good job.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I don't think that they are. And I think that that's part of player management, personnel management, mental management, emotional intelligence, whatever. You need to, don't give credit to fucking the all-practice team guy for doing a really good job of mimicking Aaron Rodgers this week when Tom Brady's fucking busting hump every single week. And we've seen his regiment. We've seen what he does. I think Belichick has taken his effort for granted and doesn't acknowledge that he appreciates it.
I think in previous seasons,
mm-hmm.
he has.
Mm-hmm.
In the offseason. Like
right,
during the
right.
season, he doesn't kiss his ass.
Right.
But in the offseason, when people ask him about Brady, he's like, Brady's just,
one of the best.
He's one of the best. He does this. He works so hard. He's always in there. He's the first one there. He's the last one to leave. Those are Belichick's compliments publicly.
Right.
If you're looking for public fucking patty caking and a pat on the back in public, you're not going to get it from him.
Right.
When you're the star player.
But like I said, it doesn't have to be public. It doesn't have to be public.
Yeah.
You can tell him, like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, if someone just sat me down at my job and said, like, hey, you know, I don't say this enough. You did a really great job this week. And, you know, I don't know where I'd be without you or whatever. That would take me through weeks of bullshit before I started to feel like, man, I'm not appreciated enough. You know what I mean? Like, it would carry that out for me.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
We know an individual that thinks his job's in jeopardy every fucking waking moment.
Right.
And at any moment, he will make a comment like, oh, you're going to let me go?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, am I not useful enough anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And then what do we say? How old are you?
Right.
The same thing should be said to Tom Brady. You're fucking 41, dude. You've been here for 18 years. You know he's not going to kiss your ass.
Right.
That's what I don't get.
But
you've been here long. You know how he is.
What's different now?
I think it just wears on you. And the same guy that is feeling insecure about his job, when does that happen a lot? Is when there's a lot of negativity floating around him, above him.
But that's on him. Here's the other thing.
Right.
It's the public pointing fingers at Brady, going, hey, you're a fucking guy that fucked people out of money for fucking drugs that he was. Now, I'm not saying that's Tom Brady's fault, by all means. But it is your fault to go into business with an individual and then get mad because people ask you those questions.
Right. That's true.
And then also saying,
I don't think he has a Guerrero problem. I think right now if he got to choose, like, hey, you can either be coached by Bill Belichick or trained by Alex Guerrero for the rest of your career. Which would you choose? He would say trained by Alex Guerrero.
Yeah, fine.
I think he absolutely would.
But at the same point, I would say to you, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I don't think Alex Guerrero, even though he's the godfather to one of your kids or some shit like that, I don't think he's got his back as far as he thinks he does.
Yeah.
I think if you ask Bill Belichick,
Guerrero's life.
Yeah.
So
I think it's the other way around. I think Brady does way more for fucking Alex Guerrero than Alex Guerrero will ever do for Tom Brady.
See, I don't disagree with you. I think Tom Brady thinks that what he does for Tom Brady is his life. You know what I mean? Like, you've made me be the person I am, and you've shed light on this whole lifestyle and this whole thing for me, and that is now what my entire business is ran around. You know what I mean? So I think he's already come to the point where you've given me my life after football. You know what I mean? Or my prolonged life of football.
So do we need to get all of like New England fans together and like get Tom Brady away from Guerrero and be like,
I think it works.
No.
Nothing's
Like
saving
it. You know what? I'll say this. It sounds like he's part. Like, and this sounds crazy. I know it's going to sound crazy, but it's like people that follow cult leaders. Oh, this guy's fucking like just unawakened me. I know, like I feel great. Like when people join fucking Scientology, they can come after me. I don't care. I got nothing. But my point is, if you buy into it mentally, your fucking body comes with it most of the time.
Right.
It's all the placebo effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if Tom Brady believes that avocado ice cream is going to fucking give him an extra fucking 2 seconds off, of holding the ball and being able to get it out there a little bit quicker to Edelman when he's cutting across the middle of the field, by all means, man, do your fucking thing.
Right.
But don't let that decide your fucking career. You're letting a guy that, in the end of the day, his career, his job is only your health. It's not how you are on the field. Bill Belichick, in a way, made Tom Brady.
Right.
For you to say that he doesn't he gives all the credit to his life right now.
I think right now,
to him is also like you're saying Belichick doesn't give Brady the pat on the back for all the things he's done for him. Brady's not saying the same thing about Belichick either.
I think it's happened. I think they happened together.
Yeah.
Like I think as Brady got tired of Belichick not, like fucking treating him like the all pro player that he is.
Yeah.
He started to say, fuck it. I'm just going to start doing things my way. You know what I mean? Like, if his way, he's great. He's a great football coach. And he'll always say that. Oh, he's the best coach in the world. He's the best coach in the world. But he talks a lot more about Alex Guerrero now than he does about Bill Belichick in a positive light.
If one of them's giving you those fucking
if
circle jerks,
one of those videos,
if he was jerking you off every fucking game, every time you needed release, he comes over and he's like, "Listen, my leg is stiff. Come over here and rub it." And he just hops in his car and drives to your house.
Right. He's like his physical assistant.
Yes, that's what it is.
Whatever,
So I get that, but that's just still, to me, it's a cop-out. Like, dude, you did it for how many years without him?
Right.
And this guy did it with you before you were this quote-unquote MVP, 40-year-old at MVP level. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, man. Like, he did it with you when you were nobody.
Right.
Wild take, I guess, maybe? I don't think the Alex Guerrero thing factors into this argument at, like, even a millimeter. Like,
really?
A tiny bit. I think what happened last year is that Bill Belichick, Brady said, like, made the comment, like, the report that, like, he never even won Player of the Week or whatever.
Right. Yeah, Patriots Player of the Week, yeah.
Brady was at practice constantly, every day. Mm-hmm. And he had to listen to Bill Belichick suck Jimmy Garoppolo's dick every day about how good Jimmy Garoppolo is. And I don't think Bill Belichick treated Tom Brady the same way because it's a well-documented fact that Bill Belichick loved Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
Loved him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was very vocal about how much he loved Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And I buy into the, listen, we're not getting rid of Tom Brady thing. Mm-hmm. So I think the rift was caused by Jimmy getting all the love from Belichick verbally.
Yep.
And everyone is okay with the Belichick, like, I need to move on from you. Mm-hmm. Like, you're,
Right.
Buy Lawyer Malloy, buy,
Ty Law, Logan Mankins, right?
Until it's you.
Right.
And it happened. It was gonna happen to Tom Brady,
right?
And I think Tom Brady feels some type of way about that. Mm-hmm. And I think Gronk knows that his time in Bill Belichick's mind is coming up soon too.
Yeah.
And Gronk feels some type of way about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think neither of those things are going to matter after the season because Bill Belichick is going to step down as head coach. It makes no logical sense to bring back Josh McDaniels unless he's going to be your head coach.
Absolutely. Okay, I agree with that.
So head coach next year is Josh McDaniels. So I would put my house on black.
So perfect segue. Who do you say? Like you were saying, Brady and Gronk say, it's either him or me.
Right.
It's either him or me. Gronk's coming with me if I leave.
I didn't really answer that question.
So who do you pick? knowing that cocksucker, and I say that with all fucking meaning, I have no use for fucking Josh McDaniels.
I know.
I think he sucks as a person, and I think he sucks as a fucking coach.
Right.
He's your next coach. Who do you fucking pick?
I'd take McDaniels, Brady, and Gronk.
I wouldn't. You can't. I think McDaniels will fuck that rest of that team up faster than Brady. Belichick would without Brady.
There's no way he would fuck that team up that bad.
Oh, he would.
I don't think he's a great coach. Don't get me wrong.
I think if you have Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski there, he cannot fuck the team up.
I just think you have a better chance winning another Super Bowl with Brady, Gronk, and McDaniels. Than
What's the
Belichick
window? What's the
Brady
window I have
and
to
Gronk.
look at?
No, you're saying flat out. Listen,
forward.
Belichick maybe has 5 years left as the head coach.
Yeah.
I would say if Brady has 3 years,
Yeah.
I would take the instantaneous 3 years of championship football over having to restart with Bill Belichick.
Right.
Because you are going to have to restart from zero.
I see. I'll give you one. I'll give you. Hey, you're still in contention for the Super Bowl next year.
Just because you
Get
have
it.
Brady and Gronk on
Get
the
it.
roster. Right.
Because I think Gronk's going to want more money. I'm thinking other players are going to
does
start
want more money,
screaming and hollering. You're going to fuck up how many draft picks. And as much as I give Belichick shit for drafting,
Right.
fucking
we
McDaniels
went
is
through that
awful.
we went through that first round.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like, well, Bill's actually really good in the first round. Like,
if you add that into
I think there is a chance that Bill Belichick sticks around as GM. I really do.
But see, then
he trades Brady.
Yeah. then he goes, fuck him. I'm trading
Right.
Gronk for 3 first-round picks, and fuck him.
Yeah.
I'm sending him to Cleveland.
I think he does, but I feel like that fixes the relationship because you don't have to deal with Bill Belichick day to day.
That's true.
Yeah, you do, because he's not gonna get out of there.
It's not the same.
I don't think he'll be.
being a
I don't
head
think he'll be
coach.
sitting in the meetings or the. You know what I mean? As a GM,
I'm just
If I'm
saying.
Josh McDaniels, I would as a head
I would
coach,
set a-
I
Oh, I
would
get
set
it.
a.
I would-
I know, Bill. You can't be here all the time.
right?
You can be in the GM office as much as you want,
Right,
but I
right.
cannot have you on. Like, if they're going to ever listen to me as head coach, I cannot have you around here.
See, if I was, also I say the other side. I say McDaniels would say, "Hey, just come in and sit in on this game plan. Don't say anything. After we'll talk."
Yeah.
It would
And
have
then
to be like
Belichick
how,
sits
See, I
there
think-
and just listens.
it'd be like Tom Coughlin in Jacksonville. It'd have to be like that, where like he's not the coach.
Well, see, Kraft even now, or even their whoever
Coughlin
their
never
GM,
made decisions,
Their GM
though.
is though.
he is. He's the.
But he didn't in New York when he was the coach. Now that he's just a GM, it's, you know what I mean? Like, the difference is Belichick coaches and GMs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Coughlin
it's
had
ta-
that
it's
guy.
hard to turn that off.
Right. I think much like how right now, like Robert Kraft or Ernie Adams or whatever office guys come and watch practice. You know, I mean, and the owners will come walk around and make their presence felt. And a lot of places have their GMs at the practices, and they'll sort of like talk to the coach. Hey, what do you think about this guy or whatever? You know, they'll get a feel. I think it would be Bill's due diligence to be there for practices, but I think like in film sessions and stuff like that, like with the guys, like hey, all right, hey, the quarterback's coach is meeting with Brady and fucking Hoyer or whatever this week. And Bill's just sitting in the like, why? Why do you have to be here? You know what
See,
I mean?
I
Like
don't-
that's obnoxious.
But if that's dialogue, it's they wouldn't allow him in the room with
I think
Brady's
I would.
shit.
I would not be surprised if Bill Belichick is coaching a different team in 2019.
yeah,
I don't want
I think he
that
just
at all.
retires.
You think maybe he?
I don't know.
Maybe he head coaches a different team.
Triumphant
I honestly,
return to Cleveland
Or New York.
people listen. Bill
I hope
Belichick is
not.
the greatest head coach of all time. To think that he could take over a terrible franchise and instantly make the playoffs with them is a ridiculous notion to me.
No, I don't
Right,
think so
right,
either.
right.
But I think if he goes to a young team with a lot of talent like a Cleveland, he could straighten out a lot of issues.
I think he could go to like the Giants and make the playoffs with them. I just don't
I
think.
don't want that.
I just don't think that Bill Belichick is a really good head coach if he has 10 years or
Right.
5 years to like really put in motion his thing.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get enough time in Cleveland the first time.
Right, but they were getting worse.
Yeah.
But that team, but the Ravens also wound up winning the Super Bowl 2 years later, basically with the team that built.
Yeah. He didn't get enough time in Cleveland. But he's not like an instant franchise turnaround.
No, he's not like Bill Parcells.
He would there's a very good chance he could go to another team and have a losing season.
Right.
Because he's done it here.
Yeah, I just think you have less time of Tom Brady than you do Bill
I
Belichick.
think-
Oh, of course, right.
So
At
I
this
think
point right now,
why would you let the guy that's only going to be there for the next 2 years make essentially force decisions on your franchise, where a guy can find the next Tom Brady hypothetically, or the next heir apparent, develop him into a playoff quarterback, and then maybe win a Super Bowl and go, now you can win 4 more with this guy for the next 15 years. I'm done.
At this point, Tom Brady gives you a better chance to win a Super Bowl than
That's
Bill
what I was going to say. Mine is, I agree with you. You definitely have more Bill than you do have Tom. But I don't think it's by much. I think you might have 2 to 3 Tom and maybe 3 to 5 Bill. So by the time Tom would have retired and then you would have had your quarterback, it's going to take that amount of time anyway. So you're going to find a quarterback maybe this year, maybe next year if you hit, 2-3 years. Now you only have a year or 2 with Bill, and that would have been the same window and not with the greatest quarterback of all time. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you're necessarily better in year 4 and 5 for that 2-year window than you would be with Tom and Gronk these 2 years. You know
this whole situation is making me more and more be like, just trade them
both.
Trade them. Like, if you can get a first round, 2 first round picks for Gronk, do it.
Yeah.
If you can get a fucking first round pick for fucking Brady, go for it.
Would it be a wild move to trade Bill Belichick?
That's kind of where I'm at too. I think you get the most for Bill Belichick.
He's probably still under contract even next year.
I think he's the most valuable player or most valuable piece you have.
Someone will trade the farm for Bill Belichick as their head coach.
Right.
And what's really good about that is you get to pick where the fuck he goes.
Yeah.
So it's like,
back to
hey,
the
Bill,
Giants.
love ya. Have fun on the Cardinals.
Right. Or back to the Giants. Give us your second pick.
I'm talking about next year when Arizona has no quarterback and finishes in the bottom of the league and they're in the NFC. Go.
That's true. Later,
retire in Arizona. Have fun.
Right.
I don't know.
Enjoy Glensdale.
I'm just so on the mindset of
you can trade a head coach, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's how we got Bill.
I don't. Trade. Well,
no, they wanted to sign him.
I don't know if there's a difference between
turned down
first round pick.
Well, no, that the league forced them to give up compensation for.
Yeah, wait. I don't know if you trade him or if it's like we sign him and then you get compensation.
That's what it is.
Because that's different than trading. Like trading would be like I get to pick where you go.
You can trade a coach.
If you could trade a coach, I would honestly, I would trade Bill Belichick to the Arizona Cardinals. I would do it right away.
I don't know. I'm just so on the mindset of a guy that did put all this together.
Tom Brady hides a lot of flaws.
But I also feel like so does Bill Belichick.
He doesn't hide a glaring weakness on defense like Tom Brady does.
No, he doesn't. At the same time, I don't think McDaniels can make a decision on that defense.
Yeah, but if
John Gruden was traded,
was he?
Yeah.
Was it the same thing though? Like he got to pick where he goes, and then he gets
went
compensation?
from Oakland to Tampa,
or was he? Traded?
And they had to give up picks to compensate the team.
It just says a trade that shook the NFL. How Bucks John Gruden Campbell paid off the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
No, that's what it is. He left. He was leaving Oakland after a year. That's why what's his name hated him till the day he died. The owner there.
They said it is the biggest deal to acquire a coach. They're considering a trade.
All right, then.
I don't know. I mean, you might be right. It might be a thing where he leveraged himself into there, and they.
That's what I mean.
But
I don't know how that works.
I just at this point, like I look at Gronk and I just go, party in Arizona. Go somewhere where nobody cares.
Yeah.
Not because I don't want to see him in a Patriots uniform. I'm just tired of guys that are injury prone but are all out of this world, athletic and great at their job when they're healthy, but you've won without them.
I think
why not?
Right.
I mean,
but you're better with them.
Yes.
I just don't think there's. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. I don't think there's an immediate like that with Tom Brady and Gronk there. There's practically no drop off between Bill Belichick coaching the team and Josh McDaniels.
I think offensively you are, defensively you're rough because they don't have a
The thing is, Bill Belichick does not call plays. He doesn't. He
Yes, he
lets
does.
no. He lets his team.
Every play gets run by him.
Yeah, but that doesn't. I mean,
And he's going to be running it this year.
Right.
Like he's done
But he
in
doesn't-
past seasons.
he
Like
lets
he has
his
completely stepped on Matt Patricia.
he lets his coordinators work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but I don't think.
Patricia does the same thing.
But Patricia's not there.
I mean, if
we don't know
McDaniels-
what the defense.
But I don't
If
think-
McDaniels does the same thing and just lets whoever he has as coordinator work,
Right.
But at the same time, when Bill Belichick and the Super Bowl does not help my case, but if Bill Belichick looks at the game plan or sees something going on, and we've seen it where he's like, get him the fuck out of there, put this guy in.
Right. Right.
yeah, he's a great pregame schemer.
Not
Yeah.
even pregame, like middle of the
mid-game,
game makes a decision
yeah,
and it changes.
halftime adjustments.
Yes,
absolutely.
I don't think Josh McDaniels can make any of those halftime adjustments.
I think he can if he learns from Bill Belichick for this year.
I think the problem is that something you kind of just threw out there is that if Josh just lets his coordinators work, who's his coordinators? He doesn't have Josh
Doesn't have
McDaniels.
them.
You know what I mean? I think
Matt
Bill
Patricia.
He doesn't have Matt Patricia, and Josh McDaniels doesn't have Josh McDaniels
But
calling offensive
but
plays
he'll
either.
call.
That actually might help.
McDaniels will call the
They're
offense.
like
He'll call
top
the
5 rated
McDaniels will call the offense. He'll have an offensive coordinator, but he'll
Yeah.
call the offense.
He'll call the offense. Okay, so
He'll just have a defensive coordinator. That's
Good
why
deals.
you know if I was Josh McDaniels, my first hire would be a veteran.
Rex Ryan.
Yes, someone like that.
Right.
So a very well
respected,
established and
yeah.
respected defensive coordinator.
Rob Ryan.
No,
Rex.
Rex.
It would be
Sexy Rex.
It would be.
Bring him in.
It would be but it
Buddy
would be
Ryan.
someone like that. It was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. No, I get you. I don't disagree with you. I don't hate the idea. I
don't think there's I
don't love the idea of Josh McDaniels being the coach. I don't think he's going to be a great head coach. But I don't know of
Do you
another
think-
head coach around the NFL that's going to be available.
What do you think the
either that I'd
record
rather
are?
have.
What do you think the record is for the Pats this year, as they are with
12
Bill Belichick as the
12
coach?
and 4, 13 and 3.
What do you think the record is if Bill Belichick leaves?
12 and 4, 11 and 5.
He's a game. He's a game
For
difference.
the game. Yeah.
But I think it's a game difference in the regular season.
Yeah, in the playoffs.
Playoffs is different. Super Bowl is different.
It's true. I really am still mad at Bill for. Here's the thing too.
Would you be as mad if they
didn't
didn't make
mention
that?
this.
If they had played
Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler and they hypothetically played
Still
him,
lost?
still lost.
No.
You're not mad at him at all right now. You're like whatever. Bill,
they-
in Bill
I,
we
If
trust.
I
they
would be
still
mad at him for
lost.
thinking
Yeah.
that defense is that defense as it. Well, no, because they played fine during the regular season.
No, my problem is the Malcolm Butler thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that either. And a lot of players like Danny Amendola and all these guys are outside talking about it now. Like, yeah, we wanted to know. Like, why didn't you play him? I do think Bill Belichick owes that to his players. The guys that are out there fighting for you. You know what I mean? I think they have a right to know why you didn't do what's best for the football team, and that's his thing. You know what I mean? I always do what's best for the football team. I always do what's best for the football team. What would have been best for the football team is to let them know, hey, guys, I screwed up. You know what I mean? Like, I made the wrong play. Or, best for the football team, understand that there was a reason why I didn't play him. You know what I mean? Like, just
What would have been
take
best
that.
for the football team is I don't care if
can't
you
just
don't
not
start
fucking talk
Malcolm
about
Butler.
it. Yeah, you throw him in
You
the
put
third
him in
quarter
the
at
game
least to see.
at least
Yeah.
see what he
Right.
does.
Yeah,
Right,
I
right.
think this is just me talking. I think he looked at it like a Danny Amendola. You're leaving. I don't have to fucking tell you
Yeah,
anything.
it could be. I just don't think he's talking to anybody.
Gronk, you want to retire. Why should I explain to you why I didn't play a guy?
I just think it's.
I think there's a
crotchety
lot
old
of
Bill Belichick.
no,
being crotchety
no,
old
totally,
Bill Belichick.
totally.
right.
But I think it's him looking at it, going, "Why do I owe any of you?" And I understand your side of it, Dave.
Because he just does. He does.
At the same time, though, I feel that he should have played Malcolm Butler.
That's ego.
Yeah, it is. It is ego, but it's also
I don't owe you
ego,
anything as
But
ego.
it's also ego on our part to be like, I pay money to come see you guys play.
Right.
You fucking better tell me why you didn't
I
play
don't care.
him.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I don't-
well, I do want
Yeah.
to know because it would be interesting to talk
Yes.
about it here.
Yeah.
But I don't need to know. I don't, as a fan,
doesn't
I'm not
need to
like
tell
me.
us.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm Danny Amendola or I'm fucking Dante Hightower or someone
Devin
who played
McCourty
Devin McCourty who
or-
played on that in that game,
I think certain guys in that defense
do know,
do know.
and that might be true. But if not, then if I'm Devin McCourty, I'm looking at this guy like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
well, no. Here's the other thing. Then this is just me being how I am sometimes.
Right.
And I've seen Belichick do it. I just made a bad game plan. Whatever. And he just said, "Oh, our game plan was
He
this."
should have
and this.
said that,
No, but no, he did say my game plan was this.
Yeah, he
and
said it was a football
It was a
decision,
football
yeah.
decision. Do you think hypothetically, this was all what's his name? Who was their defensive coordinator?
Patricia?
It's all Patricia's decision.
Yeah.
And he's just saying, listen, he's got another job. I'm not going to fuck him on the way out the door. He's done right by me. He made this decision. I let him play the whole game with his game plan.
That goes back to my point then that...
That's a bad move.
Then, it just goes back to my point then Belichick doesn't have as much control over the team as you think he does.
No, or
if he just let Patricia do the whole thing and never stepped in.
Or he tried to do what you said, let the defensive coach coach, and it didn't work out.
I mean, we'll never know, and that pisses me off.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean?
I don't think it matters. I think it's 100% that Josh McDaniels is your head coach next year.
I do too.
I also think Belichick's going to be one of those people that never explains anything when he retires.
Right.
No,
There will never be a book or anything.
No,
like
but
that.
I think there's a hypothetical where somebody does get it out of him, and if
murders him instantly.
They just
If I
find,
tell you, I'd have to kill you. Funny,
they-
Bill. And then he tells him, and then shoots him. In the
somebody
head.
finds his busted up phone, they piece it back together.
Right. Yeah.
But no, I think
there's like a Bill Belichick journal.
I think there's
on
something.
Nantucket River.
No, I just think there's something where somewhere down the road, hypothetically, you
Buried
hear
under the flavor.
this was all fucking Bill. It was Patricia's idea, and he's just saying, "Listen, at the end of the day, I'm the head coach, and I'm going to take all the heat. It's no one else's fault but man."
That could be.
Honestly, even if it was Patricia's idea, I still think Belichick should take the heat anyway. Because you're the fucking head coach.
That's what I'm saying.
And
So-
override Patricia and put in Malcolm Butler.
Yes. Okay. I do agree with that. But if
just saying, well, that's what he said, so we'll do it. Like,
no one's gonna care if he got on the podium and was like, it was Patricia's thing.
Right.
Even if he did throw him under the bus,
right, yeah.
it would still look bad for Bill Belichick.
And
Just
it's
to be like,
so you just
well, just
let it-
fucking make a decision.
Right.
You're the fucking head coach. I don't care what
Especially
Patricia's
Bill,
idea is.
the idea of how there's no stone left unturned in New England. He's got control of
Yeah.
everything. that goes
We
on.
know as Pats fans that he gives a lot of control to offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. And outside of Pats fans, people think that Bill Belichick
Does every single thing.
Does everything.
Right.
He calls offense, and he does not call. They get run by him, but it is Josh McDaniels'
He'll
call.
step on a call. He'll say, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then
he
he'll
will.
step
But
on a call.
I bet
yeah.
you 95% of the calls in a game are Josh
through.
McDaniels straight through.
Right.
He might go.
And I think that's mostly based on the fact that they know what Bill wants to do also.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're
That's
well, they make a
preparation
game
during the
plan
week.
with
Yeah,
him.
right, yeah,
they make
yeah,
a game
right,
plan
right.
with him.
right.
I just think that's something that we might hear somewhere down the road, and people are going to look at it and go, wow, he just never threw any of his players under the bus. He always just said, on to next week, or that's the game plan, or like kind of just made it so you basically fuck the reporter.
I also don't like the idea of shitting on Josh McDaniels as a head coach based solely on his time in Denver.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because
But
just
I
because
get
he was a
it. I
bad
get it.
coach in Denver and a bad drafter,
Yeah.
like Belichick started his career was considered a failure.
Yes, I
And then he
also
went back.
don't like his play calling and see how he runs things.
And then
makes me.
You don't like it. I know you don't like it, and I get annoyed with it too. But he's super successful as an offensive coordinator. He turned the Rams when he was there into a good offense, and then he went back to the Patriots, and he's done nothing but win with them. Which, granted, you have Tom Brady.
Yeah, and Tom. And,
He's not much better
and-
than Bill O'Brien
and-
as an offensive
Well,
coordinator.
I was gonna
Probably
s-
because you have
But
Tom
Bill O'Brien is a damn good head coach.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I
So,
also,
I mean-
but I also think the difference is, to me, like I've never seen watching those offenses do as many stupid things that I think McDaniels does.
I don't know. He outcoached Bill in the Denver Pats game.
You know,
And I
there,
hated
he
that.
has his moment. Like they say, every dog has
That
their
doesn't
fucking
mean anything.
day.
Yeah,
I
right,
think
I'm not saying that's any
if you
reason
look
to
at
judge him.
McDaniel's career trajectory, if he does, like I think he does, become the head coach of the New England
You think
Patriots,
he's going to become Bill Belichick?
it's wildly similar to Bill Belichick.
It is wildly similar.
He leaves, he gets his own job, he's considered a failure, gets fired, right? Comes back, works with his mentor, just like Bill Belichick did, and then is given the job after.
Right.
The only thing that would be different is if he wrote on a thing
On a napkin,
right
cocktail
before
napkin.
I retire as head coach of
The New England Patriots.
NEP and join the New York Jets. That would be the only thing different.
If he just does that and goes to the Giants,
That,
That would
actually,
just
that
be
would be
over.
the only thing that's not different.
Right. Yeah. That would be
If he
That would
just
also be the same.
went, yeah.
Right,
if
yeah,
he
yeah.
just did a flip, like a whoop-de-doo at the end,
a little
I just think that
or if Bill Belichick got fired, You know what I mean?
Right.
From New England Patriots, and then went to another team, and Josh McDaniels went with him and became the head coach, and then went back to
and then
New
came
England.
back to New England.
That would be exactly like Bill
That's
Belichick.
the story. That's the move. That's crazy.
I'm sorry that I have no use
I hear you.
for Josh McDaniels.
That's how I feel about this majority.
I am willing to give him a chance at head coach. And I don't think, I'm willing to give him a chance at head coach, and I don't think you'll actually know how good of a head coach he is until the year after Tom Brady.
I think the Indianapolis thing makes him more unlikable for me.
Why? Bill Belichick did the same exact thing.
No. But I also, I get it. But the difference is
he did the exact same thing as Bill Belichick. Shit, I didn't even catch on that.
Yeah, but
the difference is
Bill
he was
didn't
going
agree. Bill didn't agree to that.
Bill didn't say, "Hey, I'm going to be your coach. Hey guys, I'm going to be the coach. Come here, quit your jobs, give your notice, and then go there and then
Parcells was going to force the head coach role on.
That was what it. That's the difference.
He was told the head coach position of the New York Jets. Yeah,
but that's what it is. I think the difference is he could have taken the job, and luckily, and only for PR purposes,
did take the job.
He did. He said he was going to take the fucking job.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
and then decided
part of it is on the Colts.
Yes. For publicly announcing it,
yeah.
yes.
Right, yeah,
but at the same time...
We're having our press conference tomorrow.
Before he's actually signed to a contract.
Yeah, he didn't actually ink him to anything.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was hiring people.
But a lot of times you see, that's part of the shtick of the conference is him going, okay, guys, and he signs the contract. That's the presentation.
DeAndre Jordan did the same thing.
That's what I mean. It's part of the show.
I think...
But... I think that's another issue for me watching it going, you fucked over so many other people.
Yeah.
I think the difference is, I think Belichick, as much as we feel like he's hated around the United States, I think in the league he's not as there are coaches that genuinely hate playing against him because they're like, he's going to fucking do something that I didn't think of.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin.
Yes. Mike Tomlin, what's his name from fucking Baltimore?
John Harbaugh.
Those coaches.
Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
No. What fucking one is it? One of them.
John Harbaugh is the one in Michigan.
The least athletic one.
Yeah. Or Jim Harbaugh. I don't know.
It's a Harbaugh, bro.
The one that's less athletic.
They probably both hate Bill Belichick.
What do you think about Danny Amendola saying, I wanted to play for a good team and a good coach?
That's why he went to Miami?
That's what he said.
He also said that Belichick was an asshole to play for.
Yeah.
He said at the same time, I respect him as a coach, and he's the best coach.
Right.
He said I had to... He made us practice in snow and rain, and it made us better, but I hated it.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I think he went to Miami, where it doesn't snow or rain.
Yeah, no, but that's the point. At the end of the day, when we talk about how certain players just say, fuck it, I'm going to New England, I'll take the less pay cut to win.
By the way, that's Danny Amendola just being PR savvy.
Right.
Because he knows deep down in his soul, he went to a bad team with a bad coach.
Yes.
With a bad coach. Yeah,
and no quarterback.
Of course, he's trying to get the Miami fans on his side.
But he went to a good city, so he got one of the three.
He got one of the three.
Yeah, and he broke up with his smoking hot girlfriend for Miami. There's going to be tons of women walking around.
Tons of that.
In bikinis every day.
Let's get into the state of the network because Joe's got a bunch of news.
I have no news. I don't know.
You got a bunch of news. You got a bunch. You got a whole bunch.
Would everybody please stand for the B.S.N. Network's weekly State of the Network?
Less than weekly? I would say less than weekly State of the Network.
It's all quiet on this front.
Yeah, Joe's got nothing? All right. So
I did not put out a podcast.
Nope.
Not only did I not put it out, but I am killing the podcast altogether.
He will not be putting it
out behind the woodshed. You will no longer get Set the Record Straight. It had a good, 4-episode run.
4 or 5?
5?
Almost 5?
Something like that?
5 or close?
5. 5-episode run.
Yep.
Where I gave pretty much all the albums really good scores except for Justin Timberlake.
Where you ripped that album in half.
I ripped that album to pieces.
Yeah. Did you literally on Instagram?
No, I still own the album. Still own the album.
Okay. I didn't know if you were one of those people that takes a
that
hammer.
Alicia Keys song is still really good, and I'll put the album on specifically for that song.
Okay.
I like that album more than you do, but
the album sucks. Anyway, Set the Record Straight is dead. I just, to be honest with you, just didn't like doing it.
It was a fun run.
Yeah. I like music. I like vinyl records. I just didn't like doing that podcast.
It was worth the idea.
But yeah, I actually do think it's still a good idea. So if anyone else wants to pick up the Set the Record Straight thing, it's trademark, so contact me. And B, you have to do it on the Boston Sports Network. But I am launching a new show with the Sports Report's Josh Dow. It'll be an NFL show. It is as yet unnamed. We are throwing some names around.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be bi-weekly during the off season.
You don't have to do this. This is a
Sex and Full Pads.
Sex and Full Pads would be a really good name.
Right? I don't think people will think that's a different kind of podcast.
Come up with 3 names and put it to a vote on the group.
Well, we could do that. We could have the fan picked name.
Fan picked name for the show.
Can I put one in? Sex and Full Pads.
You cannot submit Sex and Full Pads or
Aaron.
Tom Brady's
sex and Full Pads?
Tom Brady's
No,
Brazil
I actually
Dance,
own
the
pads,
podcast.
but I
That's what I'm going to
never-
name it.
Tom Brady's Brazil Dance podcast.
Knee to knee with Joe.
Knee to knee with Josh and Joe.
Nope, no Josh, just Joe.
All right.
He's a silent guest like Ben Field Goal.
Ooh. Does he know that yet?
Nope. Anyway, to be serious for a second. So we are making it is an NFL show or a football show. We're going to cover all of the NFL, not just the Patriots, and Power 5 college football, Power 5 conference college football. And we are going to steal against the spread from the Sports Report.
That makes sense.
And put it on a show. I don't know if Dow is going to continue, or Josh, as you guys might know him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's going to continue doing the Sports Report. It is the
Up
way
in the
he
air.
was talking, it made it seem like he's going to stop doing the Sports Report, but I don't want to commit to anything on that.
No empty promises.
And we will be launching the show next week.
Yeah.
We'll
Draft
be
special?
with the draft special. So it'll start next week. It'll be bi-weekly until probably August. Just like
When is the draft? Is it next
I
week?
think it's
next Thursday.
Okay, so you're gonna review the draft.
No, we're gonna
They're gonna
preview
do
the draft.
Remember how
we're
last year we
recording-
did like our mock, like that?
Yeah.
We're gonna do a mock draft. Yeah, we're gonna do our own mock draft
Oh dear Lord.
Like we did last year.
prior to the draft, and it'll probably come out either draft day or the day before.
Yeah. Checks out.
So yeah, we're gonna preview that. We're gonna do our own mock draft. You'll be able to see how right we were, how wrong.
Are
we
you
were.
going to be editing that show?
Yes.
That would be real dope.
Yeah. Probably.
cut the sports report right out.
Yeah.
You just have one show to edit. There's no sports report. We just have one project.
Yeah. Probably I will edit.
Right.
I'll edit the show.
That makes sense.
Probably like on the spot shortly after we record it.
Yeah,
Was that
yeah.
an option where I could just be like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna send you my show"?
No, that was
Part
part of the
of the
recruitment.
deal
That was part of the recruitment process for
Was
the
that
Boxy
we
Boys.
would edit their show
Right.
when
What
we
the shit?
Yeah.
brought that.
No,
I
you
got
already-
hosed.
You got hosed. And what happened was because when they couldn't do the show, it was based on timing, so they didn't have any time. So, but you've proven you have time,
So,
okay? Because you've been
this
doing
is-
it.
I've missed one episode.
This
Right.
is
That's what-
kind of like
It's like a free agent signing.
If you can do all your work with this many people, then we don't need to give you any more people because you
Right.
just proved you could do all the work with 3 people.
Let
instead of 4.
me give you the sports breakdown
So-
as to what happened. Right? Okay, so when you're already a Patriot, we'll say, hey, we'll give you an extension for this much money, and then you say, no, I want to test free agency. Like, well, if you test free agency, now you're getting into a bidding war. So that once Josh Dow and the Boxy Boys became free agents, we had to overcompensate to get them. You know what I mean?
We didn't actually even overcompensate that much. We just said,
We just said, hey, we'll add it.
Yeah, hold on. How come I
So
had
we
no
gave
say
you
in this?
we gave you the sweet hometown deal because you were never going to.
You gave us the hometown deal because I need to.
Yeah, we need-
I need to make all of the intro and
You should
come up with 3 names and then put it up.
What's the
with
name of that play?
And we'll
Yeah,
announce
call
it.
it Dick. Go. Send them all.
And we can co-announce it on the social media second next week.
All right.
You will already have it recorded and everything,
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
can just follow up here
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
You know
all
what I
right.
mean?
But Yes, listen for the sports show or
Check
the
that out.
football
Sports
show.
show.
No more Set the Record Straight. Potentially no more Sports Sport, and that's not a personal thing. I really like that show. I just don't want to edit anymore, and I want you guys to combine efforts.
Or
so
just
you guys
Joe
figure that
commit
out.
to editing it every week.
Oh, yeah,
There will
every
probably
week.
be cannibalized bits of both of our previous podcasts.
Makes a lot of sense.
In the NFL show.
Trial and error. You know,
So
you find out.
we might get attacked.
getting attacked by the clones?
Against the spread from the sports report, and the fantasy field goal might become a segment on.
Plus the grading scale of up to 45 from Set the Record Straight.
I might, you know what though?
Yeah.
We are going to review teams,
So throw that
team
out
by
there.
team in the NFL. So
Steven Christina
Yeah.
Jr. will be on the WECP this week, reviewing WrestleMania.
Yep.
How we felt about it,
And the week since.
whether we were excited, happy, disappointed, sad, whatever.
You've
Also,
actually got a lot. You got the Raw and
That-
SmackDown after and the
yeah,
Shake-Up.
and we can hit on the superstar shakeup, which okay.
Right. Nothing there for me, but
And we can kind of hit a little bit on whether we care that fucking Paige is the SmackDown manager now.
makes sense.
Yeah,
having Daniel Bryan
great
compete.
idea. Put her back on the same show as the New Day. Now they can all have a shot at her.
Have a good old time.
But at the same time, also shout out R.I.P. to Bruno Sammartino. Passed away today on Wednesday. 82 years old.
damn.
I think he at one point was the longest reigning WF champion.
Yeah.
And then Bob Backlund took, I think, was it Iron Sheik took the title from him, and then Backlund took it from him. I think that's how it went. I don't remember.
Could be right.
But yeah, it's just, to me, it's going to be a cool show.
Yeah.
Having Steven there. Jerry was at Raw on Monday
Oh,
night,
right.
so he'll be able to give us a little bit more hey, what was the live vibe, and what do you think?
Right.
Of how well,
That all
who
went
fared
over.
better.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
better thing. Who's got the better roster now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Joe?
Shut that music off.
All right.
Don't you have a story to tell?
I do.
I thought it
was
was not going to be.
It's going to be my outro, though.
Oh, all right.
It
You can turn
doesn't fade out.
All right.
It's not going to fade out.
The music back on then.
I am excited for WCP.
Going to be a good week.
Forward
I
to
do
having
like that
him.
I could just tell you to shut the music off.
That was a very powerful move.
Yeah.
Just shut that music off. I was like, okay, all right, sorry about that. It was just very, very.
Didn't realize the honky tonk man was here.
That was very
Cut my
fatherly.
music!
Yeah, that was very fatherly. Like,
It's my
shut
music.
that music.
I just
off.
shut off someone else's music.
Just shut my music off. Made by you, which is a weird thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of yours. I found out why the number 69.
It took
as a
three of
position.
us to figure
Yeah,
this.
we really kinked
Dave,
it out.
me, and Kevin.
Well,
I always-
well, fuck.
I always 69 on top.
That's where he's wrong.
What? God damn it, Dave.
I 69 on top.
It's a wild move.
That poor woman.